And then that also explains why, even though the sun is all to the north of you, for those observers, when December comes around, the sun is going to rise very south of them. It's going to wrap to the north of them and do, like, depending on how far south they are, it's going to do like a 270 or 280 degree circle around them, and then set to the southwest of them.
Kind of funky thing. Yeah, put a light over convex mirrors with water. And look at it from different views and move that light around. Does all kind of funky things.
Try this. See how funky this is.
Mirrors?
Wait for the sun to set tonight. Everywhere in the world, it will set directly west.
No. On the Tropic of Capricorn, on the equator, it'll set directly west. It's above the tropics. That's where the tropic equinox.
It's going to set directly west for all observers on the Earth, except for at the poles where the direction has no meaning.
That's not true. It's set just 2 months ago.
Okay, try
northwest.
Yeah, but he said he's figured it out on the flat Earth map.
The Earth is tilted, and it's no longer tilted towards that direction.
As it goes further south of me, as it goes further away from me on its track, it appears to set further west to my viewing location.
On the flat Earth map, Jake,
today it's going to set directly west for you. As it will for all observers on the Earth, it's going to set directly west.
That is not true. 2 months ago it was set northwest.
Okay.
Each day after, it's going to get a little more and more south of west for you, Rakia.
Exactly.
Again, here's the problem, though.
And he figured it out on the flat Earth.
The direction of sunset,
not retard, Rakia. You are running your mouth and you have no fucking clue what you're talking about. But please continue. Let's get this on record. Rakia's prophecy, so that we can show you to be the prophet of Satan that you are.
Oh, stop trying to scare him.
God,
he worked it out on the flat Earth map.
You, Rakia.
Oh, okay. In the winter, it sets south of west. In the midwinter or fall, it sets in the west. In the summertime, it sets northwest.
It's
all on the flat Earth map.
Location. South of west, farther and farther each day. Yeah.
At my location. Yeah.
Nothing on the south.
Yeah, all over, dimwit.
But what specifically is the confusion here, Rakia?
Nothing. Well, the sun does exactly what it does every year. Every year it does the same thing. Isn't that amazing?
Right. But what they're telling you is that it sets west today or Tuesday, simultaneously for everybody.
Nobody said.
Right.
Yeah, as it goes above them in their circuit, and the way it's refracted in its apparent setting.
There's your time and date. Sunset will be at 2:07.
Right. But the problem here is for me in Colorado, right? It has to set directly west for me, and then somebody in Canada looks directly west.
But it doesn't do that at the same time, though, sir. It goes above you. It goes around.
No. If you were to draw for everybody on a single line of longitude, north to south,
on a meridian,
it sets simultaneously directly west at the same time. So it's simultaneously west of me, Colorado, west of Canada, west of Mexico, west of Chile, west of Argentina.
Sorry,
is any of that making sense to you?
Excuse me, sorry. You said it sets in the west in Canada?
Everywhere in the world.
Everywhere in the world.
Is this on a certain date and time?
Rises in the east and sets in the west.
No.
Sorry, I was speaking. 1 second. 1 second. I wasn't done. I was speaking.
Yeah, let Tommy speak.
Because it always sets in the south for us. In Toronto.
No, it does not.
Well, that's sort of the problem here.
I don't see the sun set in the south.
Are you sure, Tommy? Are you sure?
It's going to set due west for everyone today. It's the equinox. All people on the Earth, except for people at the poles where west has no meaning.
Today,
everybody check your location and the direction on timeanddate.com. Just do it. See.
Tommy, are you sure about that?
It's going to set in the west tonight. It's going to set in the west tonight, if I understand you correctly.
Yes, it's going to set due west. It's going to look.
You cut out, Jake. You cut out.
Cutting out.
I'm looking right here.
It's going to look like it's going to look like it's going to set south of west, but if you look at the moment where it touches the horizon, it's going to be due west.
Due west. I'm looking at I'm looking for time and date for Canada. It says 270 degrees.
That's not
for everybody in the world.
Every
It
point,
270 degrees.
On the globe Earth, on the flat Earth, pipe dream, flat Earth nonsense conception. It's completely illogical until Rakia invokes magical reflections and waters above, and a crystal dome that's refracting light through a spectrum of beams or some nonsense that he's going to make up that he has zero evidence for.
No, you're just going by your model,
what I'm talking about. Refraction, how light is refracted. Yeah.
Right, but refraction can't do that. It can't shift something left or right 90 plus degrees. It can't do that. Or more like 45 degrees.
Also, if refraction is refraction is dependent upon weather and temperature.
No, it could just be straight reflection then. Just how about just reflection then?
Don, shut up. Can I finish? And so why is it predictable?
Panicking now.
Why have we predicted that it's going to happen if we had no? And we did this months ago, years ago, centuries ago, without even knowing what the weather is going to be like today for everywhere on the world.
You've got a model now.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, predictions are easy.
No. We have a model.
Man in the argument. You're pumping Kool-Aid, bro. You're not steel manning.
We don't have every time of this year. It's being reflected in the same way. It's being refracted.
Okay, now that we know, now that we've predicted it, that makes sense of it. Okay, that makes sense of it. That's the important part. Make sense of it on your world. It makes perfect sense in our world.
Yeah,
on our world. It makes perfect sense on a flat plane.
It's impossible. Yeah, I mean, it's perfectly possible in our
Kosher, let
world.
him answer it then. You asked him, make sense of it. He's going to try to give you an answer.
These dudes weren't talking over each other. Now they got a chance. Why don't you guys stop talking over each other?
So make sense of it. Make sense of it. Make sense of it. Make sense of it.
Chemo, stop talking over people.
Panicking, guys.
It's real difficult to hear anybody. So just be
That's
careful.
Because you're all freaking out about your model.
Chemo, just stop.
Why are you still talking?
Fuck stick, dude.
Why is Kosho still talking?
I know.
He asked this question, and he kept talking.
I didn't say what I was saying because you fucking
make sense of it. Make sense.
How does it make sense? How does it make sense on our world? You asked it 5 times.
Go ahead then.
I didn't finish what I was saying. I said, how does it make sense on your world? It makes sense in our world because our world is a spherical, planet. And there's the sun in one direction, so it all turns at the same time, and it's the axis is perfectly.
No, that's not what you said, Kosher. You said the most important thing is to make sense of it.
Are not all going to line up at the same time on a sphere.
Cohesive.
You said make sense of it. The most important thing is to make sense of it. You didn't care about your model. You wanted an explanation on flat Earth.
There is no explanation. You certainly can't bring one.
Well, Wes will have to minutely triangulate to the same point in the far distance.
Well, first he said it was refraction. I was saying, how did we predict the weather and the refractive index for today?
Reflection. It's celestial reflection. The fucking propagator, dude. You're fucking pussyfooting.
Here's the stupid thing about Rakia's argument.
You're crying about magic. Oh my.
Enough.
Here's the stupid thing about Rakia's argument.
Well, why are you muting him?
It all the reflections and all refractions and all this stuff behaves precisely as if it would on a sphere with none of this stuff. It's an independent observation, independent of Aristophanes or any of this other shit that perfectly explains our position on a sphere. So if all that stuff is true, that it's all reflections and refractions, it's the creator made it in such a way as to deceive you into believing that you live on a sphere, because it works perfectly on a sphere without invoking all that shit for which you have precisely zero evidence for.
You seem emotional, but it works on a flat plane when the sky is a sphere. Also, when the creator created
no, it does
Let
not.
him finish. You see, Jake got to finish.
Cut me off.
Exactly. You're asking us to explain it. You can't. You've just muted Don.
Adults
you went on and on and on
lying
and
to
on.
us.
You went on and on.
Evidence.
Show it.
Why?
Show it.
Walk outside, sir. You experience the creation every day.
This is out of control.
You're created.
Lying to us.
You can measure it. You can do the angles to it. It's right there.
You can do the angles to it. Do it.
Yeah.
No, you do it.
It's right there.
Rakia, the angles don't help you. They help us.
No, they do exactly what they do.
Okay,
it does
right.
exactly what it does.
Exactly what they do.
Yeah, until you show that it's a sphere dropped from horizontal, then it's a flat plane, period. And what the lights do above you in their dome, in their spherical sky, then
muted Cosmos.
I can't prove that. I can't go to the sky. But you don't even deny that it's a spherical sky or reflection. You even say that the atmosphere is going around your sphere. So you have a spherical sky too. Why do you deny it?
What is that? What sort of argument is that? The problem here is
Practical.
we're trying.
It's called practical. You can't go up there and measure.
No.
You can't do it. You don't know what the sun is. You don't know where the light's coming from. It's an apparent position, and you just assume you do.
We can, and we did. And furthermore, you're asserting that it's something that doesn't. Oh, y'all don't have to meet him.
I know. This is absolutely absurd.
You can meet
No,
Chemo.
let Nicatus speak.
Rakia, when you say the word practical, right, and asserting something is magically bouncing around the sky for reasons unknown just isn't a practical outlook on things, right? No?
I don't know what you're asking. Are you denying that your model has a sphere sky, like atmosphere that's wrapped around a sphere, being held on by a magical force? You want to tell me I invoke magic?
Well, yes, I do.
That you can't bottle up. You can't show. You can only say it does something.
No, we
Okay.
can show it.
It's holding on the sphere atmosphere above you, around your sphere, while spinning and moving in all different directions. That's nonsense, sir.
I mean, I'm not sure if you're really in a position to call it that.
Oh yeah, I'm laying here on phone in Discord, and I'm saying it. You heard it.
Okay, but that doesn't mean anything to me. You just told
Well,
me
it doesn't
that.
have to mean anything to you.
Well, it doesn't mean anything to anybody who understands anything about reality
You
either.
have the right to deny it all you want. You see a sky that is shaped as a sphere. Why do you
So?
deny that?
But why
Is your sky a sphere, sir?
nobody
deny his claims without evidence?
I think Rakia has this perspective that if the flat Earth, the sky is basically like a cake cover, like a half domed cake cover, that you could somehow make the sun appear, in one direction for all the people that's living on the cake, which is total nonsense.
Yeah, can you do that, Rakia? Like realistically, like
It's
not
being done right now.
by whom?
We have this clock model from David Weiss.
Yeah. I'm talking about Rakia.
That doesn't work.
Right. That's if
I've seen
you're
it several different places, yeah, and it models exactly what I see on my everyday experience, yeah.
Right.
And then when I go out to measure the sphere myself, I don't measure a sphere. I don't measure drop from horizontal. I measure a plane surface. So then
you don't.
I say it's a plane. Yes, I do.
You don't. You're lying.
Yes, I do. As
No, you're lying again, Rakia.
No, I'm not.
These measurements.
Yes, you are.
Kia, please show us
laser
your log
lens,
of measurements.
Show us all the measurements.
You've made a claim. Please support your claim. Please provide your log of measurements so that we can attest that you've done it.
Last time
This is
I
why dudes
posted
are
it
getting
was
muted.
2.5 years ago.
Okay?
All right,
They're
Kosher, it's
talking over
okay.
people.
Like organic
Chemo, if I
flow.
start talking, stop doing that, dude. I'm being
Hey,
serious. with you,
Chemo,
man.
really, you're being overly obnoxious.
Yeah,
Like, just
Rakia's
stop.
got 5-on-1, okay?
Just stop.
And
Just stop.
so it's
Just stop.
quite
You're
all
making it
right.
worse.
People pay
You're
good
making it
money
worse,
to be
Chemo.
5-on-1. Come on.
You didn't mind when that guy blotted
any of
in,
you.
right?
You all interrupted him.
All right. So I guess what we all want to know is how the sky would shift the sun's location 45 or so degrees left or right, not vertically. We see vertical refraction maxing out a little more than half a degree because of pressure differences, right? Light bends towards the thickest medium. So if you're going to assert that for people in the south, the light would have to be bent 45 degrees or so to their, southward, that means the southern portion of the sky has a greater pressure vertically than the northern portion of their sky. That means somewhere else, like say on the equator, you're having a column of air that is very, very low pressure, and to the south, a column of air that is very, very high pressure. And keep in mind that the refraction we see, I'm going to say it again, only refracts up to about half a degree, just a little bit more, but you're talking 45 degrees.
At least.
Right? And it's also simultaneously doing this in the opposite direction for observers in the north. Right, Rakia?
You seem to have a chill.
Seems a bit weird.
I can only hear
Yeah,
about
I mean, it's
half
just
of what you're saying.
incredulous, that's all.
Oh, sorry that someone from the south actually shows up to dispute you idiots again.
Incredulity.
I'm actually,
so
I'm actually awake, so I can film the equinox sunrise, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to because it's a bit cloudy where I am.
Well, hang on. I want to know about this massive pressure differential to the north, to the center, and to the south on Earth? Is this something we can observe, Arkia?
You're asking the wrong person then. Have no idea.
Oh, well, you're asserting it exists.
No, I'm asserting the sun does what it does, but each viewer, each position, each angle, right? Flat
Right.
plane with some type of dome sky with light shining through it. Yeah.
Right, but you attempted to formulate an explanation involving refraction, and what I just described is what would be required. So I'm asking you is what I described, which you require, observed.
Can't do it for you. Sorry, buddy.
Shocking.
Can
No, not
anybody do
shocking.
it? Can anybody do it?
No, I know it's
Hang
not.
on,
That's why
guys.
I was being sarcastic when I said shocking.
Can you go to a black hole?
Well, I don't need to go to a black hole because I can.
You just assume that it's right, or things are all right. I mean, things just happen.
You just
right?
assume that the Earth is flat.
Wait,
You
wait,
assume
wait,
the
wait.
Earth is
No, I
flat.
don't assume anything. I went out and
Wait.
measured it.
Right. But what we can do is measure that
What you
pressure.
can do is go measure
Right.
drop from horizontal, and you can't find any.
I have, and I did, right? But I don't want to. I don't want to let you off the hook here, right? Because we can measure pressure of the atmosphere. Can't we do that?
Sure.
So, has anybody measured at surface level a difference in pressure based on latitude that comports with the amount of refraction you require?
I have no idea.
So why assert that it exists?
I didn't assert anything about pressure and refraction based. I just said the sun is doing what it does to each person, each viewer at its angle when it's going at its distance away from you, and whatever it's made out of, whatever medium it's in, at whatever angle you're looking at it.
Personal dime.
Right. But you actually
Right,
call it. You did call it refraction, right?
Well,
You did describe that as a reason.
Does play a part when you're looking through the atmosphere, yeah.
Okay, but I'm telling you.
Refraction, mirroring, everything, right?
Right, but how much? That's the problem here.
I don't know that.
Well, if you're going to assert that refraction is causing it, then you must necessarily know it or know how to know
you
it.
want me to just guess and throw out a number like y'all do?
No, you want to answer that's causing it.
No, I want you to provide a rational explanation. I don't want you to guess. And if you have to guess, then don't guess. And tell us you don't
I didn't
know.
give you a number. I did say I didn't know. How much more you want to say? I didn't give a number. I didn't guess. I didn't assume. And I said, I don't know your number.
You
I
said
don't know what number you're asking for.
You said
What
refraction. You said refraction did it. And the
Sure.
only way refraction can
I
do
said
it is if it.
refraction has a part of it.
Okay. The only way refraction can do that is if it refracts 45 plus degrees.
What if you have reflection in there?
What's it reflecting off of?
Who knows?
And what is the it that's doing the reflecting?
Who knows?
Then these aren't explanations.
Well, particles, whatever else is in the atmosphere, and the hard structure that I say that this could be a mirror.
That's something you'll have to
Don't give
figure
me
out,
particles.
Negator. A globe is not an explanation either.
Aerosol.
Rakia, here's the thing, man. If you just don't know, I wouldn't even try to form an explanation, right? Because then we have conversations like these where you attempt to explain yourself, and then when you get cornered, you want to forget that explanation.
I'm telling you what I know. What I know.
Well, how do you know this? That's the problem. You don't know it. You're not being very honest with us.
I've done science, observation.
What,
Okay,
he's saying
if
that he
you've done it,
knows
then
because
please
established
show us the
horizontal.
observation that.
Show me my observation.
Yeah, show us this pressure differential by latitude.
Oh, I didn't do pressure differential. I just observed. Right.
The problem is this. The problem is
You
this.
didn't observe refraction causing that. That you did not.
I didn't
right?
say it was just refraction.
Okay. So
He said
what
it
else?
could be reflection.
What's the percentage of refraction causing this?
I don't know that, sir.
Okay. So what's the next thing that we can talk about that maybe you can provide us some information on? Of reflection?
How you think you know.
All right, but that doesn't help you know
Sure
what you
it
think you
does.
know.
Because I'll prove to everybody that you don't know. You just assume you do, and you're just trusting others to tell you.
Well,
I don't
no.
do that.
I can
don't
take.
do that.
I can
tell
take
you
a.
what I see.
I know what you see. We all see the same thing,
Yes,
but
science.
you're trying to explain it using a model that cannot.
No, you're using the model. I'm not. I'm using reality, what I see every day, what I see right now. I don't see the sun right now. It's being blocked by atmosphere, clouds, whatever. That's what I said. I don't see the sun right now. I should, but I don't.
Telling
You asked me
telling
how
us
the sun. And you ask me how the sun goes away?
Telling us what you see is not an explanation for what you see.
No, that's science in your model. That's science. Observations are truly science in your model.
Listen to what I just said. We're asking for an explanation. And you told me you see what you see, and that explains the observation. Does that start to set in that maybe that doesn't make sense?
No, we know that atmosphere gets in the way and causes refraction. We know there's a reflection going on, and we know that each personal viewer is viewing what they see. We do know those things.
You do know there's a reflection, and science has proven there's a reflection.
Science has proven that, yeah, not just me.
Okay, how does science prove that there's a reflection causing the sun to appear in different locations across the world?
Go ask them.
Who's them?
The
scientists.
Fucking hilarious.
No, Ricky, if you're going to make a claim, tell us.
No.
See, this is my issue with you, man.
I don't care what your issue is, sir. It seems personal.
Well, it's personal, man.
Well, you say it's Earth curve. I say it's not. That's the only difference here.
Well, except we have
No, you can't show.
We can fully explain it.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
And you cannot, right? You just asserted that somehow there's a reflection involved. So tell us about this reflection. How do we know it's a reflection?
Okay, is there water vapor in the atmosphere, sir?
So it's reflecting off water vapor all over the atmosphere. And somehow...
I'm asking you if water particles are in the atmosphere, sir.
Well, sure.
Does water vapor or water particles reflect light?
In the fashion that you're asserting it does?
No, I just asked if they do.
Oh, well, I suppose you could make a water particle reflect light.
You suppose
How does that help
you don't know that water vapor and water particles reflect light? What are you doing here?
Let's go with yes.
There you go. Then there's your reflection.
Water vapor doesn't reflect light.
All right.
Does water particles, Zanik?
Water particles do.
Are water particles in the atmosphere?
All right,
Right.
It's not a one-on-one. Zanik's welcome. Welcome, Zanik.
Now that you've established,
he's been pressing Zanik. He's been pressing Rakia for the last 5 minutes now. Okay?
Let him go.
Now that you've established,
He's been asking me how it could be reflected. I showed him how it could. Now what?
No. What you showed me is that reflections happen, right?
Yeah.
What you haven't showed me is how your specific reflection happens.
It's not mine.
He said he doesn't know.
Okay, let me put it like this. If I look out on my street and I see 2 black Altimas in the road, and I ask somebody, how is there a second black Altima? And he says, well, it's a reflection. And I said, well, how is that a reflection? He says, well, do mirrors reflect light? And I say, yes. And he goes, well, that is your answer. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's a giant mirror in the street showing me a second image, does it? It just means that mirrors reflect light.
I didn't say that. I said water particles. And I asked you very specific.
That analogy went so far over his head, it's not even ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was a decent little analogy.
Even an analogy.
Yeah, it's a case of
Negator
trying to corner him.
It was like a direct.
Am I back?
A blue and a colorless.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm back or not. But I think the light is coming through the atmosphere. I proved that there's water particles that can reflect light in the atmosphere. And there you go. I'm not saying there's cars up there being reflected by mirrors.
Nobody said there's cars and mirrors up there as part of explanation.
I said there's light, sunlight being reflected.
Yeah, but refraction is not reflection. Is that the problem, Raki? Are you confusing refraction with reflection?
I don't have a problem.
Rakia, just because reflections exist doesn't mean reflections exist in the way you want them to. Just like the second car I'm referencing in my example, that could literally be a second real car out there. Just someone telling me, just telling me that mirrors exist isn't an explanation. He could walk me down the street and say, hey, look, here's a mirror. Oh, man, and it's perfectly placed at just the right angle for me to see a second image of a car. That would be an explanation. Or
the creative step is to say, can you model it like that? Can you make a cosmic sphere above you to use reflection and reflection and any combination of apparent effects that you can to model this? And you guys are just kind of assuming a dead end there. I don't think you've actually done that creative work.
No assumptions.
I've seen a couple of the models that look pretty good and pretty close. Now, can I make a model? No, I haven't.
Well, they don't look pretty good or pretty close. They don't work at all.
Yeah, they do.
Well, what they don't do is put that sun simultaneously in every location for every observer looking. They do it. They take one light, they reflect it or refract it once, and make a second light. That's not enough, right?
Right, I agree. It's totally. Neither can you make a model of the atmosphere and the pressure and all that. So I agree that it's not perfect, right?
What I can do is stick a little camera on a globe Earth and use a light source and show you exactly what you're looking at. Well, yes, I am.
But one thing you guys don't do, one thing you guys don't do is
somehow my model
about refraction
works,
and crap. Right? You
Somehow,
don't use your own crap
hey,
to debunk
Branch.
yourselves. Like, you know, you got these pictures of fucking the bridge from Soundly and shit.
Can we get like a server
all
mute?
be explained from refraction.
made a point in
You guys don't use that
Shut the hell up.
when you're talking about that.
Dumb motherfucker.
I'm not even sure.
Continue with the previous conversation, please.
Yeah, show me how your model works perfectly and recreate one for me. I'd like to see your model recreated with all the pressures, densities, the clouds, getting water vapor sucked into them and turning into rain and falling down to earth, and all the gas cycles and water cycles.
We have the model.
Go ahead and show me that model.
Hang on a second.
I think he wants to see it.
Replicate those models. Replicate those orbits for me.
Correction to sun at the moment. The sun is below the horizon.
I won't even ask for all the parts of the model, right? Just put the sun, moon, and stars in there.
Right now, it's coming from below the horizon. That's not where sunrise will occur. You're 100 points.
Who is that talking? I can barely hear that guy. Whoever that's talking, his mic is terrible.
His mic wasn't great earlier, though, Rick. Yeah, it was.
Oh, his mic was good earlier.
He wanted us to tell you.
Don't worry about the mic.
You guys have been going on for 20 minutes on this, guys. It's really just going back and forth, and it's kind of fucking boring because neither of you are going to agree. Negator, you're right. Rakia, you're fucking stupid. It's really getting boring. Yeah, Curved, what I was trying to say is from Melbourne, the sun's not due east. It's actually up to the north. That's what we were talking about in the chat. It comes up on that, but the latitude of us, it's always to the north. It's never due east from us. That's all I'm saying. It's only due east on the equator.
Boomer, your azimuth view to sunrise will be 90 degrees.
Okay, all right. Okay, I dig what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'm
the
looking
actual
at your
compass point,
sunset
it's,
right now in Melbourne. It says
yeah.
due west exactly. 270 degrees.
Not due west on the equator, guys. That's what
It's
the
due
equinox is
west.
about.
I'm looking at Melbourne, Australia. All right? Instead of screaming at you, I'm going to screenshot you. Okay? There's nothing else to say to you.
It tracks across. You don't listen, do you? It tracks across the equator on the equinox. That's it. It's directly above head on the equator.
Kosher, let him finish. I want to hear what he says.
There's no point, man. I'll just
Of course there's a point. There's no point. No point in somebody speaking.
Why would I need to talk to him
What do
about
you mean
it?
there's no point, Kosher? Come on, Kosher. That's not right. Let him say what he's
Isn't that tomorrow? Isn't equinox tomorrow?
9:30
No
a.m.
point.
Eastern Standard Time.
The equinox.
Isn't it tomorrow?
The sun will track across the equator. So whenever the equinox is, the sun tracks along the equator. It's directly overhead at midday on the equator, not down here in Melbourne because we're way down.
No, that's true.
That's what I was trying to say.
That's true. But hold on. But at sunset, it will be due west exactly.
Not from Melbourne, it won't.
Yes, it will. All observers on the earth.
Everywhere on the earth will be due west.
Sunrises.
I think you guys are disrespecting parallel lines here.
Stop it.
Shut the fuck up, Tom.
Everywhere on the earth will see a sunset due west. That's the whole idea about equinox.
No, it isn't.
You'll see it.
That is not what it is.
Well, what is it?
All right,
Not
how
the
about this?
idea of an equinox.
Instead of talking about it, just look in the fucking chat, and then we can argue about it afterwards.
Oh, there's
okay?
no point,
Right.
Kosher.
Yeah,
No
do you
point
have
to
an
that.
equinox?
There's no point. No point,
The
Kosher, to
idea of the
that.
equinox is the symmetry. The symmetry.
Why are we still talking about? I'm telling you, I'm looking at the fucking
Why? Because they've got something on their mind, Kosher.
sunlight
They have
and
an
daylight
opinion to
symmetry
give.
and the northern southern hemisphere symmetry, like he said, the sun tracking directly above the equator, making symmetry of the northern and southern hemisphere sizes. Symmetry
why.
of the length of night and day.
Which gives
stop people from talking.
Which gives you an east and west sunset and sunrise. Hold on. It gives you a west sunset everywhere on the earth. Everywhere.
You're
now
a
look at that
retard.
argument
Oh my
still. It says it right fucking there. Okay.
What's wrong with you people?
Yeah.
Like if I'm telling you,
they don't understand geometry.
But
They
What's
don't
wrong with
understand
me is I
geometry.
understand the micro angle of the triangle, and you're disrespecting the parallel lines. That's what I understand.
No, I'm not disrespecting any. That's the reason why you have an equal.
Everybody post your
green
directions.
sunset for everybody.
All figure it out,
Name any
for
place in the
goodness
world that would
sakes.
be there.
Everyone
I
will
know.
be sunset 270.
I'm at 269, and other people at 271. Some people at 270.
That sounds like
I can't
flat
believe
Earth
what I just
evidence to me.
heard. There's no point.
Sounds like flat Earth evidence.
Not even
Yeah.
Sounds like you're not reading the actual chart.
So yeah.
It's all
That's what we're here
270
for,
tomorrow.
to figure out where the sun is, where the locations are, where everything is. There is a point.
Yeah, I think it's only possible on a flat Earth.
Everywhere.
Oh, come on. Shut
Everywhere
up,
on the
Don.
earth due west. Everywhere. Today and tomorrow.
There's no way you can map that on a fucking flat Earth.
And it doesn't happen on a flat
from
earth.
the equator.
It can't happen.
Is due
How are you still saying that when I posted it in the chat?
Let them
Which
figure it
one
out,
today,
though,
Boomer?
Kosho. They don't
Emo,
push your
stuff your
authority.
face in the toilet and stop talking to me, dude.
But they heard you. It's in the chat. It's in the chat. It's in the chat. Make sense of it. Make sense of it. Make sense of it. We heard you.
Boomer, you don't understand, Boomer.
They still want to speak about it. They still want to talk about it. They still want to figure it out. It's in the chat, guys. It's in the chat. It's in the chat. Stop talking, everyone. It's in the
Boomer,
chat.
seriously. You're going to see in about an hour the sunrise due east for you.
Due east, 90 degrees due east.
Yes, go outside and look. Go outside and look. Don't take our word for it.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go and take a photograph and bring it back.
Who is
I'm
this?
gonna go and
I
take a
love that
photograph.
east and west aren't parallel. I love that east and west aren't exactly perpendicular to north and south and parallel to each other on different latitudes. I love that shit.
Shut up, Don. You add nothing.
Shut the nonsense. You're a pain in the ass. Now, not you, Curve. You're okay. If I go and take a compass out and point it due north, you're saying I will see the sunrise due east, 90 degrees.
Correct.
Yeah.
No,
Correct.
that's not
As
the
long
case. That's on the
properly account for
Okay.
magnetic declination.
Yeah, you have to
It's in the
account for
chat,
the
guys. It's in the
magnetic
chat. It's in the
declination.
chat.
And
Jeez.
sunset west on the equinox.
Yeah, we already showed you the time and date information for that,
the
Blackrod, and I don't know
conversation
why
now.
you don't
Who's
understand
this
this.
Black Rod guy? Anyway,
He's a glober, but he doesn't understand the geometry of the sphere Earth. You understand?
I do. Dude, no, what's happened? Everyone's been yelling. No one's actually listening.
It's not about
The only
geometry
place-
anymore. It's about magnetic lines.
Shut up, Don.
Do I get to finish? Can I just once finish the sentence without
Finish
everyone
it.
yelling so you
Black
understand?
Rock.
what
You're
I'm saying?
completely smoking crack. Come on.
Let
serious.
him finish. Let him finish. Go ahead. Finish it.
I know.
Make
Can
your
I have
point.
30 seconds of
Do
silence?
it. Come
Can you
on,
let me-
asking for it. Do it. Say your piece.
You reckon I'm smoking crack? On the equator, it's due east. You go down, it gets off. It's a bit to
No.
the north or a bit to the south.
No.
Shut the fuck up.
Wait.
That's exactly
Do I get my
wrong.
30 seconds?
Zanuck.
No,
Let
can
him
I get
finish.
seconds? God. See, that's why
Just
Fuck.
go, Boomer.
on the equator, it is due east rising wherever you are. But as you go further north or south, it's a bit too angle. So up to the Tropic of Capricorn, it's looking down a bit or a bit up. It's a bit to the east, a bit to the north or the south. On the equator, is it due east? That's what I'm saying. Okay, thanks guys for that 30 seconds.
All right, now,
Finally.
Boomer.
And I'm not trying to like
And you're totally wrong.
Can I reply to that very quickly? See, everybody
So
on
nice of you to
longitude
tell me I got
Boomer is going to
Do
be
it, Curve.
Well, we don't know, Curved. Is there a point,
That's
Kosho?
fine. That is about,
Shut
why
up,
is
you're
anybody else talking? Now, Boomer, on your longitude, as you're watching the sunrise,
Your mic
so
is
is the
terrible.
person at the equator and all the other points along your line of longitude. They're all going to be facing perpendicular to north, 90 degrees to east, with virtually parallel lines of sight to the sun that is far off in the distance, straight above, so to speak, the subsolar point on the equator. But all of the lines of sight that are virtually parallel to that sun are 90 degrees east of their lines of longitude. You have to be able
Don't take our word for it.
Like that,
Don't
Shine.
take our word for it. I posted you a link.
Listen to him, Kurt.
Boomer, I posted you a link. Just go read the link. Go read the link, Boomer. Don't take our word for it. Go read the link.
It's in the chat. It's in the chat. It's in the chat.
Can you just let Curve talk? Can you just let Curve talk? Because Curve was pointing it out.
Hey, y'all don't get to be cocky if you can't teach.
Darn, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
So, all right,
happening.
where were you at? Boom.
Order. I'm taking over. Order. Stop arguing. Everybody,
Look,
please
I'm gonna
stop
give you
fucking
5
arguing.
seconds.
Relax.
Booma. Yes, you're right. At the equator, sun straight up. But at every other spot on the entire planet, sunset and sunrise. Let me finish. Let me finish. Every single spot on the earth will be.
I'm not listening to you.
I listen to you. You listen to me. What's wrong with you? Why are you being defective? You're defective. Seriously. You made your point. It's wrong. You made your point. It's wrong.
Janik, you're kind of fucking this up for everybody, man.
Oh, God.
Listen. Get fucked, Zanik. Curved. I'm not actually arguing with you, mate. So we'll talk about some of the stage because these dickheads can't let us have a chat. But we're not actually arguing. We're both on the same page now.
You're
okay?
not. Everyone
Cheers.
disagrees with you.
Well, it's okay. In an
You're
hour, check.
I don't disagree with you, Boomer. Boomer, thank you.
Shut up, Don. Come on, you're smarter than this.
Because it's a double standard, though, for me,
not.
right? 'Cause
It's not.
Why is he being muted? He has a point to make. It's an open platform. 60 people are here.
Rise in the east perfectly for everybody on the earth today.
This is not a one-on-one, is it?
Perfectly. Kurt said virtually parallel.
Perfectly.
Virtually.
How about you guys take this to another room?
Not perfect, virtual.
Perfectly.
Go to another room to discuss this point.
Virtually. What did I say was virtually?
The parallel.
The what?
I'm sorry, the lines. The parallel lines of longitude. If everyone's looking. You said it.
What parallel lines done?
What did you say was virtually?
Lines of sight to the sun.
Virtually parallel lines of sight. If you take those people on the line of longitude, on their meridian, the same meridian, and spread them out over the thousands of miles apart that they would be, and they're all actually looking at the center of the sun, you would get a slight deviation from parallel due to their thousands.
Right, so it's not due anything.
Excuse me.
It's a slight deviation. Thank you for admitting there's a slight deviation.
Don, when you have two observers that are, say, 8,000 miles apart, and they are looking
It's
at
virtual. I get it, Curve. It's minimal. It's nominal. It's nothing. It's virtual. But we're right yet again.
No, it's not even virtual. Exactly.
Can you just let Curve finish, please? Just let him finish.
You have
His
a
mic
try.
is terrible. We can't hear him.
Rakia, go get some.
Turn them up a bit.
You're the only
Turn
one
them down.
complaining, Rakia.
You don't like challenge, do you, at all?
You're the only one.
Let Curve
anyone
talk.
can stand up to you, but you need a
Just
mic,
let
man.
Curve talk. He was speaking. Let him go.
Very quickly, you have a triangle. Let's say the base is 8,000 miles. And then you got two legs that go to the center of the sun that are approximately 93 million miles. Those sides of the triangle are not parallel, Don. That's why I specifically use the word to try to be accurate and precise, correct and true, and not call them parallel, but call them virtually parallel because they're so goddamn close to fucking parallel. That is why I said what I said. And it does not help your point one bit. Now, I want you to take out a flat
You're not muted,
motherfucking
Rakia.
dickhead, shut the fuck up till I'm done. Take out a flat fucking map, show lines from the same fucking line of longitude, all going perpendicular to that line of longitude, all going to the same fucking sun above a flat fucking earth. Go and shut your fucking mouth until you come back with that.
Yeah.
I agree. I second that.
Cheers to you, Curve. And I don't care about your mic. You got the point across. A1.
Everybody heard you. So everyone who keeps saying that is fucking retarded. Like, yeah, it sounds bad, but it's like you can hear every word he's saying. So you're just interrupting the conversation to say it.
Coach,
Right,
Coach,
yeah.
if you've
Maybe
turned
it
him
sounds
down, he's
worse
very
for
hard
others,
to hear.
All of y'all are agreeing that his mic is bad. It might be worse for me.
But you don't need to say it in the middle of a sentence.
I didn't. I
Fucking
waited
no.
till he was done.
No, you didn't.
It's not going to change, Rocky. So if you can't handle it, maybe you should go away because I'm sick of hearing you complain about the fucking obvious crackling in his mic. Are we deaf? No.
Oh, okay. So y'all do
Everybody
hear the
sees the
crackling in
sun
his
set due west. The
That's
charts
fine
are
to
on
me.
the freaking chat. What's the problem? And we have one guy, Boomhawk, that disagrees with you because he doesn't understand that that's what he's going to see tonight when the sun sets. Due west for everybody. With a very, very slight deviation.
So not due west. Very slight from due west.
Yeah, the slight is because of the fact that the equinox is an instantaneous point in time, and the sun doesn't set at the same time for everyone.
It's gonna be 9 in the morning tomorrow morning. So
Exactly. Everybody, when they get their sunset, it'll be relatively west, within a fraction of a degree.
Yeah. And I should have looked
Show
at it
that on a
yesterday.
flat map. That's the curve point.
Can I respond to Curve, man?
Wait, before you do.
Yes,
You
we
guys let
need.
him go off.
There's only a
Can I
few of
respond,
us,
please?
and we
No,
can't
before-
seem to respond to your points here. Remember,
think you
we're
had
flat
enough.
earthers. We're a very small group. You've got millions of you, and I don't understand why you're panicking. Okay, so if Don
We're
or
not
Rakia
panicking.
want to give an answer,
More
what's
patient,
the problem?
you know. Let Don go. And
listen,
answer
Curve gets all loud and acts like he's saying something that I wasn't saying. Everything he said all vehemently, I was totally agreeing with. Talking about the micro because of the long distance and the long legs, the 93 million miles in the shit. This is the same shit I was saying. Same shit Rakia said there. So very slightly deviation. And that's the whole point we're trying to say. Now, you said, don't come back until I model it on the AE. Now, that's where we need the creative effects to understand that even though it is circling for some people underneath, right, it could be going away in parallel ways to the people that it just left. We need to creatively model that shit.
Well,
we
go
need to
ahead.
work on it to say, we don't just say it's impossible,
Go
Curve.
ahead.
But you're right, you said to not come back, but don't make it sound like we disagree, Curved, when we
Well, you
totally
just-
agree.
Without a model, you're just yapping.
Yeah, where's the
Disagree.
model? Where's the model? Let's see it.
we have to
You
dismiss the
acted like
claims.
against me in what was said, and also that dribble that just fell out of your mouth about the sun, underneath this, and what the fuck was all that about?
I know it's dribble. I know. Okay, I know. And I won't come back till I have it better. Fine, I won't come back with it till I have it better for you. But don't make it sound like we're disagreeing.
You were disagreeing with me and mocking.
No, you made our point at the end, and Xana confirmed it. There's a slight deviation. Thank you. It's not exactly due anything. Appreciate
no,
it.
it's no. It's precisely due west, due east. The only thing that's different is it's the sunsets do not occur at the same time. That's the only thing that's different.
You know what's
Guys,
interesting?
hold on, you guys. If it's due east now, it's due east always for everybody. Do you not get that?
Yeah, do you know what's interesting?
It's so funny. You want to call this?
It's not about being due east. You don't even understand this simple fucking point.
You really think I don't understand the geometry curve? Come on.
Yeah, I do.
I'm leaning that way too, Don.
John, you're an absolute fucking moron.
I'm having to agree with these guys too, Don.
Flat earthers always state the obvious. Do you think I don't understand? Yeah, we know you don't understand.
What was the actual argument about to begin with?
Gma, they think I don't know geometry.
No,
Well,
that's yeah. It's just the sun setting direct. I mean, it's rising for everybody. Well, tonight, let's just say tonight is setting for everybody due west. In the morning, it'll rise due east for everyone in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
that's
I should have
an
checked
argument?
yesterday.
Yeah, people disagree with that at first. I'm not sure. If they still do.
Well, with a slight deviation for some.
Well, that's the thing. See, I get the sun first. Here's what's interesting. I get the sun first in New Zealand, and your guys' equinox is on the 21st, and our equinox here is meant to be the 22nd, but I get the west setting equinox yesterday. So I'm gutted I didn't film the damn thing.
Well, no, it's in 17 hours for everybody.
It's only like 12.
Why are they saying there's a deviation, Kasha?
Well, for me, it's
Say again, Scott?
269 setting today, and yesterday was
What's this
270.
deviation you're saying?
Just
One
the
degree.
equinox is in 17 hours from now, precisely at that moment. So technically, if your sunset or sunrise is not at that exact time, then there's going to be it's not going to be a perfectly thing, but it's going to be directly due east and due west for everybody. If you're talking about the minute like fraction of an angle, then
It's weird when you say it like that, though. It's if you can see the sunset at the moment of equinox, it's precisely due west.
I mean, that's exactly
as close as it probably could be without actually being it for everybody else.
Right, yeah, that's exactly why I was saying it, but people were quibbling. I don't know who it was. Just now arguing about forever, saying it.
Curve brought up the point about the center of the sun being, and how 93 million miles away, we're going to have a little bit of deviation versus to the center. If you're on the equator versus at the Tropic of Cancer or Capricorn. But that's the part they're talking about. That's such a small deviation.
And if it's an apparent sun being slightly refracted or whatever, it's going to be different a little bit.
Slightly refracted? No, it's not refracted.
Well, slightly angled or slightly different. If it's apparent, it's slightly something then, right? It's not the actual position.
No, because it's 93 million miles away, and you're 8,000 miles north. That's articulately said.
The sun that I can't see right now because it's hidden by clouds and atmosphere, is that the actual sun or the apparent sun?
That's the actual sun.
It's the actual. So just at sunset and
you can't
sunrise,
see the actual sun because it's being blocked by the atmosphere.
He's talking about how the sun will be seen to rise a little before its actual physical position.
And that's a different.
So that's the apparent. That's the apparent sun.
That's the apparent sun. Correct.
I got you. Can I ask the guy in New Zealand a question? New Zealand.
G-Paul. Sure.
At noon today, will your sun be north in your northern sky?
46 degrees altitude, 0 degrees north at the meridian.
Directly north.
So directly north, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not straight over you. It's not straight up like. It's not on your azimuth.
46 degrees off the horizon.
Stop
saying azimuth. You don't know what the fuck it is, Rockhead.
Zenith.
You know what that word means,
Zenith anyway. I meant Zenith. I looked it up earlier. Yeah. So it's not directly above you, is what I'm saying.
He doesn't live on the equator.
He would never be here.
Slacker posted a good thing for me once. This some kind of website that shows all this, and so it will show you where you can look and where you are, so that you can look and figure out all these things. I forget what that website is.
I just posted something good to use. I just posted something you can use. Everybody can use.
But you give us the
the brain to figure this out. That might help.
It's not.
He's posting David Weiss's app.
Yeah, it's funny how it works. It's amazing.
Yeah, funny.
His works.
Yeah, it uses globe data.
Rakia, have you figured out why the sun has the same speed of travel and the same duration of a day for people on the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn during the respective solstice?
That's a tough one. I would say the only time it has the same exact speed for everyone is today.
Well, it's always moving at 15 degrees per hour for everyone.
Obviously, it's moving at a different speed because
what's going on today?
Now my days are getting shorter. During the summer, they're longer. So
it never moves at a different speed, though.
Yeah, it's never doing over a different speed. And then if you track, and like we told you before, if you track how long it goes from zenith to zenith on the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, it travels the same distance over the ground. And they have the same exact time of the same exact duration of a day, and the sun doesn't move any faster through the sky.
It's not about the speed. It's about the length of time between sunrise and sunset. That's what gives you longer and shorter days. The time between sunrise and sunset. You might think about that, Rakia, and figure that out.
Maybe the light source is closer to me in my summer, so I get more light from it. Like it's closer.
But we can measure that it's not closer.
Oh,
yeah. The sun's the same.
You measure it.
Yeah, that's not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Size.
Maybe that's why it's getting warmer too. Like it gets really extremely hot.
The point was you derped out about the speed of the sun.
That guy I can't hear. Whoever's talking.
You derped about the speed of the sun causing the length of day.
Because you're fucking talking, dude.
And it's not the speed. It's not the speed of the sun making the difference, Rakia. Not the speed of the sun.
Oh, it's not the speed. It's the distance.
You guys got to admit, though, Rakia makes a great point.
Christ, you're an
Rakia
idiot.
is making great points right now.
Shut up, Brent.
No, he's not making any point.
Unmuted branch.
But you understand, Rakia, you're trying to find, and all that you're doing is invoking stuff that you can't prove, you can't demonstrate, you can't model. It's everything that you're doing. You're fighting tooth and nail and scratching your nails into the ground to avoid saying that, yes, everything behaves as if we're on a sphere, even though it doesn't for some undisclosed reason.
You come work with me in July, and I'll show you. I'll give you the experience of the sun, the heat source being closer to you, and then in December I'll let you work with me, and you'll tell me that heat source
Why do we measure
is further
the
away
sun?
from
Hold on. Why do we measure the sun angularly slightly smaller in your so-called closer summer?
So
we
we're
can
talking
measure
about
angular size of the sun is smaller.
Angular diameter.
Angular diameter, angular size of the sun is smaller in the summertime. It's further away. So you're wrong.
But
Again.
it's very slight. It's very slight, though.
No, I wouldn't say
that could be due to other factors.
Like what?
Because it's not.
Like what?
Everything is other. So far, all we're hearing is everything is another factor. Everything that perfectly demonstrates sphere Earth is some other factor for some reason. It can't possibly be that it's. And you're claiming to be an honest truth finder.
But you're doing the
You're
same.
trying to
saying the
oversert
opposite has to
demonstrate
be-
with
What's it like
mutually
living in opposite-
exclusive.
what's it like
That's what
living
the
in opposite
problem is.
worlds?
I'm
What's it like
saying I
living in
think I
opposite
live on a
worlds?
plane because I can't measure drop from horizontal to show a
The
sphere,
sun seems
and
to
then
go
the
across
light
the
source
sky.
seems to
It
get
doesn't
closer to me
change
in my
angular
summer, so it's
size.
warmer. Yeah.
It doesn't change angular size. It's smaller when it should be larger. I mean, everything's you're an opposite world. What's it like in opposite world, Rakia?
Yeah.
The sun
and you keep saying.
I think you're projecting. I think you're an opposite world.
No,
You keep
I'm
saying-
not. I'm giving you facts, the statistics.
Because if the sun was in our atmosphere, I would give you the angular size thing, but it's not. It's in a different medium. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would
It's called
agree. I would
space.
totally agree.
It's
I would
called
agree.
space, so it's not a medium at
It's a
all.
different
It's-
medium.
It's
What do you
not,
mean?
no, it's again, all of this shit can be explained through refraction.
Oh.
Oh God.
All I know,
It's an outer
all I
Earth.
know is when I have every other light source on Earth and I put it closer to me, it gets warmer and brighter. And when it
That's
goes
not what
further away from,
happens.
hang on before you cut me off. And when that light source on Earth that I can use, that I can get to and touch and feel, when I move it further away from me, I feel less heat and it's not as bright. That's what I know. So that's why I'm assuming by my
how
own
about this,
experience
Rakia?
that he
That's
cut me off
terrible.
again. So just cut me off. Okay, go ahead. Y'all
How
go
about
ahead.
this, Rakia? How about this?
Hey, go ahead, Zanik.
Isn't
Can I talk for a minute?
Zanik, it's your time to talk. Go ahead.
Isn't it?
I won't cut you off. Go ahead.
Okay.
May I speak? May I
Isn't it funny
speak?
how things, when they are more directly in line with you, tend to be a little warmer and brighter rather than at an angle through a thicker medium? That's maybe what you're saying. Is that possible?
I think what we need to take into consideration is this, right?
May I
Someone
speak?
wanted to speak. Branch.
Refraction.
Who wants to speak?
Refraction actually
Black
be
Monster
the
wants to
reason
speak
why.
for a minute.
Look. As the sun gets further away, refraction will actually cause it to look
All
smaller.
right, enough, Branch. No, it doesn't.
Yes,
All right.
it will. It would absolutely do that. Refraction will absolutely do that.
The sun doesn't get further away, is my point. Fucking hell. Now
Can I
go,
talk
Black
just for a
Monster.
minute?
Damn, we do feel it.
Go
Here's
ahead.
an ex-
Go ahead.
here's
We'll
a test
listen.
for you.
Go
The
ahead.
sun
Here's
does
a
get
test
further
for
away.
you.
In both
I've got an
models.
experiment for you. There is something you can actually buy quite cheaply known as an infrared heater. It's basically looks like a satellite dish and it fires infrared heat out the front. Take said infrared heater, place it 50 feet from you, facing square on you, or square on a surface, and then measure the temperature of the surface. And then now do a second experiment, taking the same heater on the same setting, set it 40 feet away from it, but set it at about 80 degrees angle with respect to that same surface, and measure the temperature of that surface.
Are you saying the
Same
sun is
power
an infrared
here.
heater? Are you saying the
Same-
sun is an infrared
That
heater?
No,
we
he's
figured
saying
you'd
the
take
angle
that from that.
makes it different.
Same power
Rakia.
heater, closer by at a steep angle, will not produce as much heat on the surface as it will facing square on.
Common
And I'm even
sense.
giving you the benefit by saying putting it closer by for the angled measurement.
This is
Good
really a
Lord.
silly argument, Rakia. I don't understand. This
really
is
Exactly.
most
bad.
My
basic.
4-year-old,
It is.
will understand this. Can you
It's really
understand?
That's what I
this?
see.
It's
The
really
sun
bad,
is
Rakia.
more over my direct sky like.
You know, you ever notice how 4-year-olds they'll turn the light is in their eyes, they'll push the light away? That's what happens. Rakia.
And
It's simple
4-year-olds
stuff.
poison the well a lot too. But
No,
what I
you're
see in my
right.
summertime is
You're-
that the
you're
sun
not
is more
acting as
directly
a
over
4-year-old.
me and it's hotter because I think
That's
it's
right,
closer to me.
Rakia,
Because
because
of the
the Earth
angle.
is tilted towards the
Or
sun.
it's actually
Correct.
closer to me, so it appears more over
No.
my position.
No,
The sun doesn't
Rakia.
move.
Or that, or
The Earth
alternative.
is tilting, Rakia. Okay, understand
Right,
this. It takes
right,
6
right,
months
right,
to
right.
switch the change
I've
as we
heard
go
your story,
around the
sir.
sun.
I'm 50 years old. I've heard your story.
Yeah,
You
well,
don't
let
have
me
as a
explain it
child,
so
don't
you just said something earlier that didn't make any sense if you're 50 years old and you understand.
Not
Okay,
the
so let me
first thing.
reiterate it for
I'm
you.
always wrong.
The Earth is tilting towards the respective area. So, for example, when you're in summer, the Earth is tilted towards you. We're in winter right now, so the Earth is tilted away. But when we go into summer, the same amount of sunlight's going to be hitting the northern hemisphere with the same amount of energy, but it's going to be going over a larger area, and that's what makes winter. And down in the south, there's a couple of things that are going to happen. We're going to be tilted towards the sun, going to have 15-hour days of sunlight, not explained on a flat Earth, and also a 24-hour sun seen from October to February in Antarctica. Thank
24 hours sunlight, sir. Not sun, right?
Well, it's 24 hours.
Yes, sun.
You can't get it
The
from
sun
the moon.
never sets.
When there's sunlight, I say the sun is out.
I have light right now, and I can't see the sun.
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You should have sun.
Mikey, shut the
But
fuck
I
up.
don't.
You're just
There is
talking
no
gibberish now. You're just being an
It's
asshole.
2:36.
No, y'all are just
Don't be
ignoring
mean.
the alternative.
No, he's
Y'all
not
just
being
hate
nice.
the
He's
alternative.
not being
Y'all
nice.
hate
Right,
the
you're usually a nice guy. Just be cool, all right?
I'm being nice. I'm
I'm
telling you
ready.
exactly what I see.
I've had my coffee. I'm ready for all the derp and crap.
You said the
Yeah,
sun
it's
was behind the cloud.
4:36 p.m. here, and it's still sun out.
So
Exactly.
do you
I
guys
need
not
more
get
coffee.
deja vu though? Because we seem to go through the same exact thing twice a year.
Twice a year.
Well, because
It's the equinox.
Yeah, it's cyclic.
Flat Earth reset.
do you have an explanation? Do you have an explanation for the equinox yet?
We just learned about it.
Flat earthers, do you have an explanation for this?
Sure, it's the middle track of the sun. Yeah, middle circuit. Yeah.
No, how can? Yeah, but that doesn't explain how everybody can see the sun due west.
Well, we've already established that everyone doesn't see it due west. It's slightly off.
Oh, they do. That's wrong. They do.
Oh,
That's
okay.
wrong.
Well, you're
They do.
disagreeing with Curve
It's
and
within a
everybody else.
degree, Rakia. We're not.
Within a hundredth of a degree.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's real tough to see or measure. I got it.
You should
I'm
let
in New
Curve
Brunswick, and
respond
it's
to
due
that
west.
because he actually brought up curved. So
Yeah,
Mr.
you
Curve,
should let Curve say that he did say it was slightly almost undetectable, but it was slightly.
I'd like to respond. I'd like to respond to Rakia, please. I'd like to respond to Rakia, please.
Go ahead.
So Rakia, the
Hold on, Jim's.
Yeah, only just.
Oh,
were you going, Jim? I didn't hear you.
He's all good.
Muted
Now go.
himself.
So Jim's probably
Oh,
taking a
okay.
nap. He had a rough morning.
All right. So Rakia, if I have, say, a pallet of 2x4 6 feet long, I'm perfectly in my right to say they're 6 feet long, even if every one of them is slightly different. For instance, some are 6 feet and 1/1000th of an inch. One is 2
I'll
1/1000ths
give
of an
you the
inch
win,
short.
Brenda,
of
if
6 feet,
we can move on.
and so like that.
I'll just
You
give
win,
you the
Brenda.
win.
Thank you. So nevertheless, thank you. Thank you.
You win,
I'll
Brenda.
take-
You're
No,
right,
I want to
Brenda.
take.
Go get your,
Yes,
go collect
thank-
your prize. Let's move
No.
on. Thanks.
You're right, Brenda.
Exactly. No, I'm going to collect my prize, and so that means that I'm correct. You can't explain why everybody sees the sun due west on
That's for
on
the
an
win.
equinox.
You
Got
won.
it, Brenda.
And you gave me that
Curve's
win.
name
You
reacts.
gave me the win. You gave me the
It's
win.
definitely
You-
a
so
sphere,
you
Brenda.
still have to
Yeah,
explain.
I'm definitely.
So you still have to explain it.
Explain
You
it.
haven't explained it.
The point has nothing to do with an
You've
equinox.
explained it,
It's, you
Brenda.
can
You
never
won.
explain it.
It is to do.
The equinox is not special in this instance at all. The flat earthers can.
That's
never
what I'm saying.
Point to where the sun is. Actually, there's no flat.
Your
no
point
flat
about
earth
it being an
model
equinox.
that will make the sun perform the way it does. It just won't exist. That's why there isn't one.
Exactly.
Right.
That's
Stop
also
talking about on the equinox. But it's
okay. It's cool though, Don, because it's a nice, easy, general direction everybody can model it to. But that's the thing; they won't model it because if they model it, it all comes crashing down.
Yeah, it's a good occasion to highlight this fatality in the
Absolutely.
non-existent flat Earth model, but it
put.
happens every day.
I still don't have an explanation. I still don't have an explanation from the flat earthers why everybody sees sunrise at due west on the equinox, and I was given the win that due west simply means within a very
on
small
any day.
degree of.
You guys saying this happens on every day?
Fuck any day.
Oh,
Fuck
why are you
any
guys saying this
day.
happens on any
Just
day?
fuck that.
Yeah, fuck any day. I like it. Any day is fine, and it's applicable.
Why are you
But
guys
like,
You have an extra.
but like
Explain,
Rick
explain
said,
it, though.
it
Explain the
highlights
equinox.
the problem,
Explain the
the
equinox.
fatality.
I need
Because
an
curved
explanation.
virtual parallels aren't going to change no matter what day it is.
Virtually
Why do you
parallel.
guys say that it happens on every single day? You're talking about
Because
they're
it does.
parallel every day or what?
Talk about
No,
sunrise.
The mismatch of models
It is.
will happen on any day.
Yes, it is every day that the flat earthers cannot point to the sun and explain why it's there,
Oh.
why they're setting.
I got you.
And it's in that unique position, while the globe does it handily.
That's a distraction from the question on the equinox. Why does everybody look due west and see the sun, and flat earthers cannot give an explanation for why that occurs?
Okay, Brenda, let me try and win the prize back. So when the sun is at 40 degrees in my summertime, it's balls hot. You know, I'm talking about sweat dripping from everywhere, 9 o'clock in the morning, right?
No, nobody needs to know about your balls, bro. Nobody knows.
So in the wintertime, at that same, when the sun is at 40 degrees from my, from me, it's not. It's cold, right? The sun, you can't feel the heat from the sun at all.
What does that prove,
right?
though? What
Hang on, Brenda.
Where I just explained this to you.
Brenda. So now, Brenda, in your model,
It wasn't Brenda. That was chemo and muting people.
Bino,
For some reason.
and I was asking Brenda, so I'm trying to
I
win my
didn't
prize
hear
back.
you,
So
Branch.
Brenda,
What are you talking about?
in your model in the summertime, my sun is further away from me, and in the winter it's closer to me. But at the same angle, it's a different heat source, right?
Yes, that's all
drastically
correct.
different.
Yes,
Drastically.
You're
so
correct.
to me, that doesn't add up.
Well, I can explain to you why that adds up.
Go ahead.
Because you get more energy per unit area, right, in the summer than you do in the winter, because the Earth is tilted towards the sun in the summer and away in the winter. That's why.
I get the story. You don't have to reconfirm the story, but it doesn't seem like it's that drastic. What I'm talking about is a drastic temperature change, right? Huge,
Yeah, so
huge.
how much overall climate is raised when the Earth is closer to the sun? How much is the climate overall raised?
It's not about being closer to the sun, though. It's more about the unit area, like Brenda said.
I don't care which zone is hotter or colder. When it's closer, it should be hotter, right?
It should be hotter.
No, it's not hotter. Can I say one thing real quick?
It only
Yeah,
takes
go
8
Scott,
minutes to
go
reach
Scott.
me.
Shut up,
It only
Rakia.
takes
Go
8
Scott.
minutes to reach me, no matter what degree it's at. When it's all reaching me, it should be the same degrees of hot, right?
But it's not all
reaching you. I lost the point. I don't know
Hey,
what the fuck.
but what-
because
you know,
it
what-
seems like
hey,
distance.
Scott,
It seems like distance of that heat source makes a difference.
Scott, why do
Go,
seasons
Scott,
happen?
go.
Mute Branch and
Can I
jump
go
in.
on one?
Jump
Can I
in.
go on one point? I just want to
Stop
point out
being a
that
bitch.
this was the first thing that I was ever corrected on by a flat earther. It was the first time I was like, okay, I flat earthers know a lot of stuff and I can learn from them. And the person that corrected me on this, they told me something, and here's how they convinced me of it, Rakia. They pointed out to me. I said to them that seasons, the seasons were a result of the proximity to the sun. They laughed at me. They told me I had the model. I didn't even know my model was wrong. It's broken, and they gave me a very, very simple piece of logic that made me realize I was wrong. They just said, just look at the actual percentage of the total distance that it varies by. And when you look at the actual percentage that it varies by, it's a very, very tiny difference. So you're basically 99.999% as close to the sun as always. But then look at the difference in angle of incidence of the light. Look at how much more light is striking any square meter based on the tilt. You're going to find that it's a significant difference. It's like 30% more light gets into 1 square meter. And so I realized in that moment, this flat earther was correcting me. I realized, oh, okay, this makes so much more sense. I was an idiot. My bad. But anyway, I just felt like
Scott, you are correct. You are correct. Scott. That was very idiotic. That was very idiotic of you. Yeah.
Hang on, he addressed me. So yeah, in your model, that makes a little sense. Not totally. What makes more sense to me is that the light source and the heat source, which are one and the same, are not as far away. There's not an angle. It's just getting closer and further away due to
that makes a lot more sense. That does.
That works a
Make any
lot
sense.
better, right?
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, you can't say it doesn't make any sense because you can do that yourself.
It-
It doesn't make any sense because you believe in the other. You
Inverse
believe
square
in
law
your
will
model,
work.
but it does make sense.
alternative. It's very logical, his
Inverse square law
alternative.
works. It's the inverse square law, right? It works for radiation, any type of radiation, whether it be light or UVA rays or UVB rays, whatever, right?
Branch is right there, but
the heat that we get from the sun,
Carnivore has the
heat
gift.
that we get from the sun is essentially just radiation.
Branch is right, but the difference in the distance to the sun seasonally is insignificant. Even
but the fact
you
that
can calculate the difference.
places
You can
simply
calculate
because
the difference
the
in the intensity.
By the way, Deech, it's not like 99.9999. It's about 1 million miles closer, or 2.5 miles closer and further away. So it's like 1%.
Now consider this. Scott, a doctor. He admitted that the reason why we have seasons is not because of the angle of incidence, but because the sun is closer, right?
Wow.
Can we show a correlation of this 1 or 2%?
But
climate
even
or no?
someone who has a doctrine admitted that the reason why we have seasons is because the sun gets closer to us.
That's
That's
incorrect.
not true. The sun's
That's
closer
incorrect.
in the summertime. The sun's closer in the summertime in the southern hemisphere than it is in the northern hemisphere in the summertime.
The distance that the sun changes from the distance that the sun changes with respect to closeness to the Earth is completely washed out by the angle of attack.
Exactly.
It's okay. Don't worry about that.
Talking about plus or minus 1 million miles.
What textbook told you that?
No, the overall climate.
You measure it. You measure it. You can measure it.
Yeah, but that's.
You can measure it.
Matt can post
You guys
pictures.
even-
So that textbook.
By the way, I got a quick
The
question.
reason why it's hotter in the
Can I
summer.
ask a quick question to
The
Brew
reason why it's hotter in the summer.
Can I ask?
is
Can
because close.
I ask a question to
The reason
Dan?
why
You
it's
guys
hotter in
are
the summer.
terrible at falsifying your shit. Just
What are
terrible.
you guys even arguing about right now? I'm totally lost
Yeah.
at the point. Can't follow this conversation.
Okay.
A lot of people
The reason
miss,
why
Can I talk to Brew Hall?
Falsify something or shut the fuck up.
Hey,
Stop
the
with
reason
the
why it
philosophy.
feels hotter in Texas than it does California is because the sun is closer to Texas than it is California.
No. So Bruja, are you still there? Bruja?
No, he said no. California and Texas are
Is
like
Bruja
close
I
to
still
posted a
miles,
picture right there. It's got
but the angle
numbers.
makes that big of a difference. Bull crap.
Just like I showed you the sunsets in the west, I'm going to show you exactly the math that Scott said about 30%. It's right there. It's not hard to calculate either. It's not hard to calculate. It's not hard to understand either. It's perfectly.
You can drive to California and
All you gotta do is
Shut up. Kosho was talking, man. Kosho wasn't done. Shut up. Kosho wasn't done.
It's going to
Keep
go on
going.
for 5 hours if you just looked at something for 30 seconds.
All right, stop bitching and just keep going, you fucking faggot.
Oh my god. Did somebody just call Kosho a faggot?
I did.
Wow. Kosho, is it true? Are you a faggot?
Shut up. Let him say his fucking point. Jesus, man. You make it so hard to follow the conversation.
Well, if you called him a faggot, there must be some sense of.
I don't get along with him, but that doesn't mean you can interrupt him every fucking
Well,
moment.
why did you call him a faggot then?
Because he's a fag.
Branch, if we recorded Kosho's dreams, he would essentially put the gay porn industry out of business. We came to that conclusion.
What does this sexual orientation have to do with the shape of the Earth?
I don't know.
It doesn't. I was just being a bastard. Can we please let Kosho explain this stupid fucking image?
Yeah,
And what
please,
does
so
your
we don't have to
parents-
hit Jeremy.
And what does the conditions of your
Jeremy
parents
makes a
have
lot
to
of
do with the
gay
shape of the
jokes.
Earth?
Jeremy's trying to tell us.
His image makes no sense as he's showing the sun hits.
It doesn't because he wasn't able to explain it, Rakia, because you interrupted him, dude.
It wasn't me. That wasn't
yes,
me.
it was, man.
Oh my goodness.
Holy fuck, it was you. It was
was
you,
not
man.
I've just started
I'm
talking
always
just
on your side, but it was you that interrupted him. Let him finish. Let him fucking explain the photo so I understand what he's saying.
Fairly simple. All you got to do is just understand a couple quick numbers. Scott said 30%. That was about right. You see those two rays of light? They're the same exact amount. It's coming from the sun. The only difference is one's hitting a small area in the equator, so that energy is shared with a smaller space. So the each square mile gets a lot more of that energy. Whereas up north, it's spread out more. You can see the math up there. And because it's spread out more, that same energy is spread out to more land area. So that land has to have less energy.
Kind of like when it sets and rises too, huh? The temperature changes because of angles. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So are we
That's
now
what-
agreed? So we are now agreed on what accounts for summer and winter.
Or as it sets and rises, getting further and closer to you, so the temperature would change too, right?
But that doesn't
Yeah, it
happen.
could be that too. Yeah,
The alternative.
No,
yeah.
it's understandable both ways.
No,
You should
no, it's not
falsify
understandable.
something.
It's not
Got the
understandable.
angle and you have
Then
atmosphere.
falsify his shit, then Brenda. He's
It's
giving us
simple.
evil logic.
Easily. Easily.
Article.
Easily falsify it.
Oh my God! You know what? Chemo is a better moderator than whoever else is here.
Yeah, this is
Seriously, guys.
ridiculous. This is. Why are we still talking about this? It's so simple.
Shut up, Xanax. Shut the fuck up.
It's so friggin' simple. I don't get
Xanax,
it.
stop. Don't start.
It is.
Please.
Shut the fuck up, Zanny.
Branch, you shut the fuck up. Listen.
Rocky,
So-
it is like
so
Rocky's
we're agreed-
alternative. I think
So we're agreed now that about what accounts for summer and winter, right?
Well, I don't know. There was
that it
this.
could. I think we should agree that it could do that. Yes, Rocky. Shouldn't we agree?
No, no, it's
Good.
not. It's
What's
not.
your argument against it?
It's not possible that it's the distance from the sun. That's not possible.
No, I'm saying yours is possible. I was trying to give you your point first. I want him to agree on that.
Right.
It's the only one that's possible.
We're gonna
Right.
fight. Obviously, we're gonna fight
And
about
a voice.
that.
What about Broomha? What about Broomha? Does he understand that the sunset still is due west?
No, he's not getting it yet.
Oh my God.
Who the fuck is
No, because
We're
not-
making a point that it was a
Vector
non-exact
says
angle. Why do you guys
again-
not want?
Let me. God damn it! Stop talking over people.
If you can't pronounce my name properly, if you can't read my name, how can you actually work out
I
complex
don't know.
math?
Broomha. What is it? Broomha.
Boonan. And
Okay,
this
Bruma,
flat Earth
Bruma.
model is just
Bruma.
straw, man.
I think that Boomer gonna stand for.
Can I just take a break? Bruma, do you believe that the sun sets everyone today and tomorrow due west? Yes or no?
There is a slight difference. From my latitude, I will have to look slightly north. It's in an hour. If I've got
8,000 miles
clouds,
north.
I'm going to take a photograph. You're not going to let me finish, are you? I'm about to take a photograph with the
course I
compass
am.
set up
Go ahead.
due north. And the sun will not be coming up due west. It will be coming slightly to the north. That
You
is my
understand
point,
that?
because
He needs to
I'm
understand
down
first, though, that
south.
due
Can you
north on the
define
compass is
slightly?
not due north, though. He doesn't know.
Let me just finish, please, by myself. Can you define slightly? Are we off by a fraction of a degree or tens of degrees? What?
Well, as has just been said, there is a slight variation of a few degrees because of magnetic north, and that is a little off. However, it is not going to be totally 100% 90 degrees east of here. It has a slight north inflection because I'm down at the bottom of the globe. I'm closer to the South Pole than I am to the equator.
Can you express
Do you
that
get my
difference
drift?
mathematically?
Okay, what if I'm at the? What if I'm in the north? What if I'm at the?
What happened?
Let me ask.
I was trying to get the point across the curve, and everybody started yelling different
still
stuff,
talking.
which created a different
Don't
narrative
let me
around it.
annotation of what happened.
Guys,
Let me
one at a time,
Finish my
please.
question. So if
Oh,
I'm
look,
at the
there's the
equator,
moderator.
how much difference would there be from the equator or North America to you for the setting sun? Give me like, is it a half a degree, a degree? Give me like a value.
It's not
Quarter-
enough to make any fucking difference.
Or does it depend on your latitude?
It's not going to make enough to make any
I'm
difference.
talking to Broom.
Yeah, it depends. Why don't you give the fucking numbers, Xanac?
You know,
the
hold
fucking
on,
distances
Xanac.
to the
I
sun,
just,
93 million
Xanac, I
miles. Do
just
your
came up
reverse.
with an
Do your
example. Hold on.
Fractions of an arc radian.
Xanac, I think I just came up with an illustration for him. If we were to imagine that we're all standing on an arch, like the Great Arch in where is it? That's in Montana, not Montana, Missouri, right? There's the Great Arch or whatever.
Pontchartrain
Imagine,
Bridge.
St. Louis, yeah.
Like the Pontchartrain Bridge. that
okay, so
arc.
imagine that we're all standing on an arch.
Hey, Jay.
Okay, an arch floating in space, and then everyone is standing on it, and their feet are strapped to it. And imagine everyone's got a really strong core, so they can always be perpendicular to the arch for wherever they're standing, right? Because they can just imagine that they're just really.
Man, why did you
and they're all looking straight ahead because that's where the sun is. The sun is straight ahead for everyone on that arch because the sun is perpendicular to the arch, right? So everyone that's standing on the arch is looking straight ahead. Because the sun is so far away compared to how far people are spread apart on the arch, they're all looking essentially the same direction. You understand that part of it?
Does that make sense, Broma?
Yes, I do. But here's the thing. Can I just interject here? The reason it got misconstrued is because all you guys started yelling shit over it, and it didn't allow me and Curve to have our agreement because we were just trying to work out. He actually said due, meaning exactly, and I'm saying no, I'm further south, so I'll have a slight differentiation. But the problem is none of you guys could actually just listen and shut up for a few seconds to allow the point to get across.
I heard
and you just did it then, Jay. You butted in. And that's it. Okay, I'm going to take a photograph, so it won't matter. We'll see the exact.
Give me the value. Can you give me the? Is it a fraction of a degree? Like a half a degree? What? If you're in Australia,
That's one time.
and I'm at the equator, what would be the difference in the degrees from you to the west setting sun?
About to go and find out. I'm about to photograph it. That's the point of my experiment.
We have
I've
a
looked at it
chart
on
for you.
books and on basketball. I'm about to go and make actual evidence of it. That's what I'm about to do. It's an hour away.
You said it depends.
Clouds
You said as you went in the equator, the latitude changes, and that's
Just triangulate.
No need for all that. Just
Stop trying to coerce him, Zanik. He's going to give you what he sees.
Coach, they keep saying you're working in the same direction.
Oh my
guys,
God.
listen. It's not difficult. We should state it clearly. It's only at one precise time.
Yep.
At
The
one
one thing you
precise
need to
time.
understand,
Are you
though,
still saying something?
is the
Branch, hold on. At one precise time in 15, 16 hours, it's going to be from an exact moment, whether it's sunset and sunrise from there, it'll be perfectly east or west, whether it's setting or rising. And everybody else in the world, depending on how far away you are, how many longitude lines you are away from that position, it'll be slightly off to such a degree that you're not going to perceive it. It'll be within a degree, within 1 degree.
Well, what about
No.
So you're slightly off, but you still call it perfect. You want to represent today is special. Today isn't special.
Hey, Don, it's my turn. It's my turn.
Take some medicine or something, man.
Kosho, can I make a quick comment? We change your where the sun is to if you were to shoot the sun due west, would you hit the sun at any point in the sun? Not the direct center, but would everybody looking west be able to shoot their bullet exactly west and hit the sun? That's probably a better way to look at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
just talking about
Always on every day.
On the equinox, everyone hits the sun. That means you're plus or minus a half a degree. We're giving you some huge latitude there. No pun intended. So everybody sees the sun due west perfectly, regardless of your latitude. Does that work for you, Bruma?
No, that doesn't work at all.
Okay, that's so Don. So Dan, that's my point. That's why I was fighting it.
You're right. You're right. But you guys, the problem is you guys were talking past each other.
we weren't.
We're making no. Here, hold on,
Zanik.
Hold on, Zanik. You're right that he doesn't fundamentally understand it yet, but we weren't even making progress on that path because there was still fundamental overtalk. Like people were talking past each other on fundamental points. Like he kept on saying overhead and throughout the day, while you kept on saying at sunset, and you guys just kept on going right past each other.
No, I heard his overhead. I agree that it would be directly overhead and at the equator. Right. Oh, I'm still talking. Okay, I'm still talking. So I agreed. I acknowledged that. I thought I was very clear about that, and I went back to but setting sun was always due west for everybody on the earth, and he was disagreeing. So
you're right. He's still wrong. I mean, he still thinks that his latitude is a factor in determining its deflection from due east or due west, and that's not true. And I try to make a diagram for him, and the diagram shows that it's at exactly sunset. At exactly sunset, it's coincident with your line of latitude. Now, any moment before sunset, you're right. It's going to be slightly more north, but exactly at sunset, it's exactly west.
Correct.
But you guys must admit though, the sun is closer.
Hold on, now this. Hang on, Branch.
Well said,
please
Dan.
shut up, please, Branch. Look, here's the thing. Okay, Zanik, yes, and Dan, I'm not actually trying to argue with you. What the problem was you, Branch, and you, Kosho, and all you other cunts that had to fucking jump in and muddy the waters. I'm not trying to directly argue with you, Zanik. I was actually trying to bring up I'm about to go out and photograph the sunrise. So guys like you, Branch, you're just a destructive cunt. You create nothing. So how about you learn to shut the fuck up and
What is the
anyway,
point
thanks,
of
guys.
this, dude? Look, man.
So
all
are
you
you
do
gonna
is come
record?
in
Are
and
you
say
gonna?
people are destructive. Like we get it.
Are you gonna video? Are you gonna record the sunrise?
Hey, my man who did the model, when you say exactly at sunset, what do you mean? When the sun first touches, when it's halfway down, when it's...
Hey, bro, I take that as a compliment. I
mean, did you not hear Twit just then?
Everybody's a little talky today, but I was just curious of what exactly his experiment was going to be. Like, is he recording or?
He's gonna measure. He's gonna measure how far the sun is. He's a genius like that. He's
Thanks,
gonna measure
Branch. You don't know anything about it, but you know everything about it. Hey, Branch, you don't know anything about it, but you know everything about it, do you? I'm going to go video it with a compass. That's all. I'm going to put the compass up and video the sunrise. That's it. So how about you learn to shut the fuck up, Branch? Because you really are a destructive person.
And
the rest of you,
hold on. So
Jenny,
Boonan, what do you expect? Boonan, what do you expect to see?
And there's another one.
I'm asking what you expect to see.
Yeah.
What your prediction is?
You get fucked 'cause it's of no benefit, dude. I don't work for you guys. I work for other people who actually benefit from the study. You don't give a fuck, and you'll just put bullshit on it. So fucking up, Chemo. You're a prick. Anyone else? I'm going to post it shortly and show you the sunrise on the equinox, and the day is the same length, basically. That's it. Yes, I'm trying to find.
Hey,
enjoy the sunrise. Bye.
Are you going to get to be able to capture the sunset
He
today
said
as well?
goodbye, guys. He said goodbye.
Oh,
Just leave it
okay.
at that.
Sorry.
Holy shit. Here's the misunderstanding. It's equinox. The subsolar point will be at the equator, well north of him. However, the sun is not a point source of light. It is much larger than the Earth. It will be west for everyone. Ta-da! If it's not at the instantaneous point of the equinox, it will be a fraction of a degree off. If you live on a hillside, and you don't know how to stand up straight, it'll be a little fraction of a degree off. Everybody calm down.
Right.
Even if you're a blind motherfucker, it'll be west.
I posted Wolfie's video that's in Australia, Boomer, that shows it rising
of September.
due east. He shows a street that is due east and west on Google Earth, and he shows it rising due east.
And I actually designed this experiment with Wolfie a couple of weeks ago when we had him on our stream. So thanks for drawing up an ally.
Oh, it's going to be good. Can't wait to see it.
Guys, can we unmute Branch?
For what reason?
Well, why was
No.
he muted? He didn't do anything.
You know, I would just consider myself lucky that I'm not muted if I were you.
Why? What have I done that's destructive?
You just are.
Muty patootie. So can we get like one agreement? Keep
Laughing
going.
isn't really an answer. What have I done that's destructive in DC? I'm genuinely curious.
It's just goofing
Okay,
around.
right. So I guess we'll just move on. Yeah, right.
Well, lots of shouting at people and telling them to shut up and stuff like that.
Because they over talk other people. I was actually defending one of your moms, John.
Right, but that is then over talking people.
This
Because
is literally
those exact same people over talk. So I was saying, hey, shut the fuck up. Let this person get their point out. One of your mods, by the way.
Oh yeah.
This is tough to listen to at times, Jim. You got to get some 45-second rules like Chemo was doing something.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
for real.
It's
I mean,
great.
I don't know if you're listening all the time, but it's tough sometimes.
Get back to work, Jeremy.
It would be
Jem,
cool
weren't
if there was
screaming at the top of your lungs about an hour ago, Jem, over talking Stacy and things of that nature.
It would be
I mean, I
cool
don't
if
mean
there
to put
was.
you on the spot. I'm just saying.
You mean when
move
Stacey
on.
was
Yeah, but
overtalking everyone?
I think we should move on.
What
I
are
think we
you
should
saying?
move on.
He just
What,
got excited.
are we-
with Stacey
Are we
speaking,
doing the
but-
thing where we pretend that I have to comply with my own rules?
Right.
Rule of law would state that, right? Why would you
Go
not
give
comply
yourself
with
some
your own
lashes
rules?
there, Jeff.
Not to mention the fact that like I haven't interrupted or been a complete asshole. All I said was that Branch needs to be unmuted as well. He was muted for being overtalked. He didn't do anything wrong.
He's Branch. He'll
He's
live.
Branch, though. That's kind of
He's
like
been
his
unmuted.
second state
Yeah.
of
That's a
being.
point.
Is
That-
He's
that
been
is a
unmuted
point.
several times, and each time it was regretted very shortly after.
So,
But
so
why would-
Jem, Jem, I don't know if you've noticed, but you have a pretty loyal viewer now that swings by your YouTube stream often.
Dell. Are you on about
Yes.
Dell? Yeah. Yeah, he's like my #1 fan.
I know. I mean, next time I catch him and he's there, I'm going to remind him that the super chat's working. So
Why don't he come in here? How come
I
he don't
posted
do
the
that?
link. I posted the link. He
Did you
hasn't
see
hit
that
us
with
up
my
on it.
show last night?
Yeah.
He made a comment, and then I got loads of super chats.
Oh, that's so funny.
How come Dell don't? How come Dell don't come right in here?
Because he ran.
I think he's scared.
He's scared of
No,
us.
he's not scared.
Jim,
No,
I'm
no,
sorry I timed him out.
Y'all think Dale is
He can't come
scared?
in here.
Really? Y'all said that?
He doesn't
That's
debate
true.
anybody. All the times where he started the
not a
debate, he just
debater.
starts yelling. Yeah, he doesn't debate. He's not a debater at all.
But to say he's scared is crazy.
Well, let me explain why I think he's scared. Is because
Jeremy.
when you come in here, when he comes in here, he cannot handle everybody that would talk to him. That's
because
that's
every
so
time
scary.
I've heard him come in here, like 10 people jump all over him.
I'm not
He's
a wild
pretty
animal.
abrasive, so he
I'm
deserves
not
some
saying
of
you
it, but he's
personally,
not
Twit.
scared.
I'm not saying you personally, Twit,
But-
but these people
but
are
that-
animals.
That
No,
is part of being
Jeremy.
scared,
Yes.
though.
He
Rocky,
came in
yes.
here, Jeremy.
That's not being
Jeremy.
scared. That's just
I
being,
think
I
it
don't want to
is.
waste
You're
my
running
time.
your mouth, Jeremy, and I
No,
don't
he-
like it.
Listen,
You guys are
if-
fucking
That's a
animals.
broad range of scared.
Sheeple.
Jeremy makes a good
Can I
point.
get a radio check?
Good point. These people are fucking
Yo,
animals.
hey, bro.
Yeah, this isn't.
They're fucking
the thing
animals.
Fuck.
The
Ain't
thing
even
is,
a
this
question.
isn't. Hello. This isn't a visual medium. He can't pour water over a basketball here and prove anything.
It's objective. I mean, it's out of control here. Well, Flat Earther comes in and they're all over him. I couldn't
Right.
imagine if
Like
QE were to come in
hyenas.
here.
Like hyenas on the fucking rabbit, right?
Hey, QE came in here once, and he literally it was fine. He just he said he needed to go get some answers or something. He'd come back, and he never came back.
Yeah.
Are you saying you don't think it's worse when the
He's
reverse
still
when
looking
it's
for those
reverse
answers.
rolled?
Did QE ever come here? Really?
He did. He
Yeah,
came once.
yeah. He came the other
arena?
day too, and people
Yeah,
were
but at least he's not
moderator, and
banned.
Different.
he left.
Yeah,
and the
at least
clip-
he's not banned.
QE is not such a bad guy.
He's not
QE is not
banned. He
such
can
a
come
bad
in
guy.
anytime.
Like, I've actually talked to QE
Fucking cross.
with like very people in the room, and when you talk to QE one-on-one, he's not a bad person. He's just like, well, fuck it. You know, we had this conversation about people in the fucking Discord and shit. And
Right,
he was
you
like,
weren't talking about
"Man,
flat
they
Earth with him,
fucking
though."
believe anything I tell them." And like he was basically saying like, fucking, yeah, people are stupid. People are fucking stupid.
You
He
guys
wasn't-
are fucking animals, and if a Flat Earther comes, you're all over him. There's half the
Fuck
times
that.
I'm fighting with 5-6 Globers at once. How can anyone
Yeah.
do that? I can't live like this.
Yeah. Jeremy, let me explain a little
Imagine
something
our
to
dilemma,
you.
buddy.
All right, Jeremy. Dell came in
Explain it to
here. Dell came in here and said some dumb shit. Then Jim asked him to clarify. He got angry and left.
Dell came here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, was
That's
something
what
like that,
happened.
actually. I
That's
don't-
what happened.
As did Quantum Eraser.
He said something
Flame
along the
Warrior.
lines of
So wait a second. So both times Gem scared them away.
No.
Jim's
I
questioning.
don't think I did Quantum Eraser, but I think
No,
the Dell
it's-
one was me.
Yeah.
It's just that they don't actually have the answers for the
Exactly.
questions, and they don't have a room full of people to start badgering you like they do over there, where they're safe and comfortable. And then they can ban you if you do make any points. Which
No,
we don't
the
do for
arenas.
you
I
guys
have
over
to.
here.
I have to interject. I have to
It's much
interject.
more of a
please.
fair arena over here, being that half of us, or more than half of us, aren't even allowed over there.
Is that Grim?
Okay.
Yeah,
I
hell
have
yeah.
to
How you doing?
interject
Hey,
because
Grim. How are you?
Long time no see.
Yeah, I know. Hope
in
you're
the
doing well.
arena,
living the
you
life
can do
in
a
Cali.
one-on-one,
I
and
hear
no one
it.
will jump in, and it's nice and fair. So don't give me that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That's not true.
Real nice and fair
This
with
is
a
like a-
with a
you make-
biased
and the
moderator.
You, the moderator, another person. That's all.
And I think
That's
they
not
Yeah,
listed all
sure. The moderator against you.
I think
And
one of the
I think
reasons
they
why
listed all
probably
the
Dow
names.
doesn't come in is
I'll say
because
something.
what Dal is looking for
Honestly-
is
honestly-
Dow's looking for that
honestly-
practical proofs, and I think a lot of you guys would get frustrated that you, because he would say, "Where's the practical proof?" and you would say, "Well, let's talk about it a little bit. Let's discuss the mathematics." And he'd say, "Well, that's wasting my time. I want to see science," and I think that's where you guys get lost in just having a conversation with the flat earthers. People
I still
like
wanna
doubt.
say
People
Kimo
like doubt.
very
Want
much.
yeah.
Kimo,
Very-
what's
when
the
was-
very much
nonsense?
like
When was the last time
He's
that
very
someone,
much
a
like
flat
you.
earther asked for science and they were denied it?
No, but your version
Yeah.
of science is mathematical equations. Like I say, Dow would be asking for, because you've seen what he's like with pouring water and with the level and surveying.
Yeah.
That he'd be asking for a practical, and you would say, well, how would you like me to show you? And obviously he would just like a link or someone that has actually done it so we can replicate it. And that's why it's a bit of a struggle, you see?
Kimo, yourself, right? You're not looking for a real fucking proof of the globe, are you?
Because I don't mind talking about it. We can talk
But
about
you
it,
don't-
and then
you
that's
don't want the
why.
real proof.
That's why
You don't want
sometimes
the
we
real
get.
proof.
Hold on a second, Branch.
You
That's
rather talk about
Branch.
the
Hold on a second,
sublimination
Branch. That's why, like, when Lemon likes to talk about it, I like to talk about it, and you know, Jeremy likes to talk.
That's the thing. You like to talk about
Rakia
it.
likes to talk
You know,
about
you're
it.
out- that's
David
the
likes to
whole
talk about
thing
it. So
about it, is that you
it's a
like to
case
talk
of
about it.
Yeah, I'm saying there
Enjoy
are some
it.
flat earthers who like to talk about it, whereas someone like Dal or Nathan or they want direct evidence right now. Give it to me. Don't waste my time, so to speak. So
As apart from yourself and people like you just like to talk about it.
yeah, I mean, I like to understand why you think it's a globe. I'm more interested because I know that it's difficult to provide globe proof, and so I'd like to talk about it. Let's talk about it. Why do you think on the ball you'll go through why?
Kimo. So some of us get it. Some of us get it, but some of us don't, right? And they actually like to battle with the things that you say. They don't get that you just like to talk about it.
I'm just
I mean, I'd love to see some practical. I'd love to see water dropping from a horizontal. That's all I need. Let's see it.
Yeah, so like I say,
half
of the flat Earth.
Yeah, and to y'all standard, I asked that guy earlier how he measured it, and he said, I don't want to tell you, so I don't want to take the time to tell you. That's all we want to see drop from horizontal. Should be easy, right? Should be it drops from our feet in all directions. Should be easy to measure with all our technology.
So, Kimo, what is it that you like about
that's what we're saying.
What is it, Kimo, that you like about this conversation?
But like I said, so we'll ask questions like this, whereas some people, some of the flat earthers won't stand for your nonsense, and they'll think that you're.
Kimo,
they'll think that
you're
you're
not
just
answering my
outright
question.
lying to
You
them.
are not answering my
right?
question. You're over talking. You're essentially over talking me by talking bullshit, right? What is it that you like about talking about flat Earth?
But what I think the globe earthers should do is figure out a way of demonstrating something, finding a way that it can be practical
Kimo,
more than
please
just
answer the question.
than just talking about it.
Kimo,
He's not going to
direct
answer it. He's not going to answer it.
please.
He doesn't. And frankly, the thing is, while he's rude about it, he doesn't have to answer the question if he doesn't want to.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. But it's a funny
Talking
question.
about it, like I said, and that's what you get from us. You get conversation. Now, think about it. If that was Nathan, if that was Dal, if that was any of the flat earthers who want the information, there'd be no conversation. It'd be like, you guys are a bunch of this, that, and the other. I'm out of here. You see? Whereas, like I say, we can just. I don't mind discussing.
Kimo, why do you find it funny to discuss these matters?
We have some fun moments in here.
I say I don't mind discussing it. Like I say.
I mean, it is fun to make fucking people that are
Schnozberries, that is all.
extremely intelligent, extremely educated, fucking almost sound like babbling idiots. That's funny. Do that. Is that why you do it?
This is an interesting topic. We have fun when people aren't screaming like little kids. You know,
Jeremy has fun. Jeremy, you don't.
Of course, nobody talked for 10 seconds, and it was and when I started to talk, it was Stone's turn to talk to say nothing. Of course.
I think the flat earthers, like the ones that you want, would come in if we allotted particular speakers for that, that time. I don't think it's just too much if 5-6 ball earthers are all jumping all over. It's not a good look. It doesn't feel.
Hey, well, Witsit can handle it. He was here handling it the other night.
Well, he left the first.
Nathan Thompson's handled it.
He left the first
Some
time.
flat earthers can handle that. Some can't.
Yeah, but we all go to 24/7 and get muted in 30
Jeremy,
seconds.
quit letting me trigger you, man. Chill out a little bit.
What?
Well, stop fucking poking the bear, Stone. You poke
I
him, what do you
don't
think
think
he's
you've
gonna
ever
do?
triggered Jeremy, bro. Jeremy.
Wait, is Jeremy the bear in that metaphor?
Jeremy may not be the bear. He may be the guy that just wandered into the cave.
Dude, if you
Okay,
see
yeah.
me in a bear fight, don't worry about me. Help the bear.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know if that's true.
So weird.
I think Jeremy's the mouse in that situation.
Help save the bear.
You're not supposed to feed the bears junk food.
This is also true.
This as well, Mr. Scott, if you're not working on the really is level, I mean, has to be one of the most frustrating parts of your argument. You know, we're not sure if it's 100%, we can never make a right measurement, we just don't really know, you know, we're just trying to work it out. That's not the real world. You know, men who are at work, building and grafting, Mr. Scott, you can't tell them that's apparent, okay? They get paid to make sure that things are done precisely.
It's the other way. It's the other way around, Schemo. It's in the real world. That's the way it is. It's just you have to learn to deal with that. And the real engineers and real scientists, like, they know this is true, and this is part and parcel to what they do every day. That's why they're constantly having to deal with error bars and likelihoods and probabilities. It makes it more complicated. It makes it a little harder to do, but that's what they have to contend with every day.
Your version of a real scientist is what we're questioning. Okay, so these guys, let me finish. So these guys, Mr. Scott, that I'm sorry, Rex. I thought that was Mr. Scott there. But these guys, Mr. Scott,
don't yell at me, but not Rex. If you're gonna yell at interruptions, yell at them all, idiot.
I thought you were just jumping all over what I was saying and not let me finish, but. Mr. Scott, the idea is that your scientists that you keep on promoting, okay, we're highlighting and saying that they're pseudoscientists. You're like, no, they're not. But we're demonstrating that they're doing nothing more than what they believe to be true. They're not demonstrating it, and they're not showing it.
Absolutely. What Kimo saying is 100% correct.
Except our science, what you call the pseudoscience, works, make predictions, has practical application. I see none of that. And I don't even see a discernible flat Earth science. You can't.
But here's the thing.
Hold on, I'm not finished. Holy
fucking
shit,
finish
dude.
quickly, then. Stop talking so much.
Now I'm going to take my time. We don't see anything the flat Earthers putting out that.
Well, that's not a good idea.
I don't know of a single flat Earth engineer. I don't know of a single flat Earth PhD. I don't know of a single flat Earth pilot. There's definitely no flat Earth map maker. There's no flat Earth cosmology. There's no flat Earth astronomy. There's no flat Earth science, period. All the
I do not know. Based on what you just said, I do not know.
Let Rex talk.
I do not know one motherfucker scientist that's actually seen the fucking curvature of the Earth.
Yeah, except for me.
So you may not know any flat Earth scientists. I do not know any
you have to
fucking
listen.
scientists at
You
all.
have to listen.
Actually seen the curvature.
Folks, this just can't happen, right?
20 people said I have. And you
I've
did
seen
not
the
hear
curvature
you. You did not
myself.
hear because you're a drunken cunt.
Have you seen the curvature of the Earth?
Absolutely.
I've seen
With
it.
my direct eyes.
Yes, I have.
Everything
Now I
Rex
have-
just said about
No,
us
you
not
haven't.
having science was
I've seen
pretend.
it.
They have no science.
Okay, Twitch.
Bullshit.
How have you seen? Wait,
Come on, is there really a moderator?
Guys,
Can you moderate?
I'll be the fucking moderator. All of you shut the fuck up. Where have you seen the curve? Twit, go.
I've
Shut
seen
up.
on the ocean.
Okay.
I've seen
You
it
know,
in
at least,
pictures.
at least somebody's moderating. Is all I gotta say.
Yeah, when I
Whatever,
mute
man.
people, Chemo unmutes him
I've
immediately.
just muted
Yeah,
it.
because you're being a sneaky little fucking mod. You gotta give him a warning. Man. You gotta say, hey, man, shut the fuck up. Fucking coward.
When he unmutes him, you kick him.
Hey, Tommy, this is a fucking warning. You're being muted.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
Yo, that shit was hilarious.
Now I have
So Twit's seen it on the ocean. Who else has seen the curve? Who else has seen the curve?
I have to go,
Twit's seen it on the.
I have to go, but shut up. I have to go, but I want to leave. I want to leave the flat.
Okay, so go. Don't tell people to shut up and then say I have to go. Fuck off.
Shut up. I have.
Who else seen the curve? Just leave, bro. We're trying to see who's seen the curve.
Tommy, he wants to say one thing. Let him say the one thing, Tommy. Let him say the one thing. Relax. Go ahead, Rex.
Thank you, moderator. Like I need to mention.
You're welcome, Rex.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to leave the flat earthers with a question. When Branch wants to come here drunk and troll and pretend to be a flat earther, why is it that all he has to do is act stupid?
What kind of, dude, just go do whatever you were
That's
doing,
it.
man.
That's it. That's my
It's
question.
not constructive at all. Who else has seen the curve?
No,
Quit
Rex
seeing it
is
on the
right
other
this
side.
moment.
Who else?
I think it's subjective of what was constructive.
Yeah, it looks
I
like
have.
Everybody believes he's a
Just
flat
being a
earther.
fucking cunt.
You're simply escaping this. The point that we were just talking about is that where Mr.
You're
Scott
feeling a
talks
little bit
about,
comfortable here, aren't you?
Mr. Scott talks about scientists. Is that we're saying that it's a form of pseudoscience, Mr.
That
Scott.
works. How is it pseudoscience?
Because, like I said, after
No. The definition of pseudoscience means it does not work.
and it doesn't work. That's right. We
It
falsify.
means it does not follow the scientific method. That's
Well,
what
we're sorry, but you don't know what the scientific method is. You're all idiots.
You and Kosho, you can't deny the Felix Baumgartner, the jump. You saw the curve. It was there. Don't worry about Neil. Don't worry about Neil. He's a doofus. The curve was there for all to see.
You're funny, Mr. Reality. You're funny. Yeah, we saw the curve in that. I know.
Don't you have to be at a certain height to see the curve?
Felix Baumgartner,
No,
we
you
saw
can
the
just-
curve, the Red Bull jump.
You can turn on a video and
Planet
see
New
it.
Mexico. Planet New Mexico.
Shut up, Jeremy.
Come on, that's blatantly not
Turn on a
true.
video.
How
Why?
can
That's
you
out of
see
line,
the
man.
It is
curvature?
absolutely
just now.
true.
Even Neil deGrasse says you can't see curvature from an aeroplane. He's a physicist, astrophysicist, right?
And he meant lateral curve, right?
Yeah.
Chemo, I asked you a question. He meant lateral curve. Am I correct?
You can't see any kind of curvature.
No. That's not what he said. He meant lateral, side to side.
He didn't
He was
say
talking
that.
about going up in a plane.
Okay, everybody stay out. Chemo's talking.
Hey, what's his name? Neil deGrasse. He's a parrot. He don't know
Yeah,
anything.
no
you
one-
see
no
the
one- no
curve
one's
in
even
the
asked.
image,
Excuse me,
Jeremy.
Chemo, you can't
You
bail
know
on this.
Felix proved the Earth was blue. We all saw it.
This
That wasn't
motherfucker
his job.
better
He was
leave
doing.
right now.
He was doing a
You
high
said
jump.
two-
That was his job.
He said 3 minutes ago you have to go, man.
Yeah.
You're bugging.
Just go, Rex.
Sorry.
Just
No,
go, Rex.
I'm here. Now I've got another mission to crucify Chemo. Chemo, I asked you a
Seriously,
question.
just go. You're late at the glory hole.
I asked you a question,
You're late for whatever
Scummo.
you're doing.
Hey, Scummo.
Rex,
I
you're
asked you a
late for the
question.
glory. You're late for your shift at the glory hole. Go.
Okay. Is there anybody?
Can someone confirm or deny what I said? Can someone
Chemo,
confirm or
you
deny?
afraid to talk?
Hey, look, you unconstructive, stupid motherfucker who has to go.
Chemo, are
Can
you-
someone
are you
please
afraid to talk?
confirm what I
Rex, you want me
said?
to talk over
Is-
everybody
is
else?
it true or not? Don't you have to be at a certain height to see the curve?
Why don't you act like a mod
Other
and talk
people
about
don't
it?
talk.
You do have to be at a certain height to see the curve. That is correct. At a
That's
certain
exactly
height.
what Neil deGrasse was talking about. You have to be at a certain height. Yes.
I've been up as high as 80,000 feet in a special apparatus so I could actually see it. It was just kind of like a spacesuit. And I
Now
saw
let's
the
see Chemo's-
fucking curve.
now let's see Chemo's question to
Clearly.
You can't get high enough to see curvature, Rex. That's what it is.
I have been high enough to see the curvature. That's what I'm saying.
Where?
My own
Where?
eyes.
Where?
Eyes.
Like a zoo in here or something.
Where?
They're animals, Chemo.
No, Chemo.
Where
I
have
asked you-
you
Controllable.
I
Unbelievable.
asked you, Chemo. Curvature on what axis, Chemo? If you even know what that means.
Motherfucker, didn't you say 5 minutes ago that you have to go?
Yeah,
I'm
but
sorry,
now
but
I'm
I'm
here to
getting
crucify-
tired of you.
Now I'm here to
I'm
crucify.
getting upset. You're upsetting me.
Who gives a
The
shit?
schedule may have changed.
You don't give a shit? I'll
No,
show you
why
why
should
you
I?
have to give a shit in a second, dude. You're
Tommy,
interrupting
please,
people.
please, please.
You said you have to fucking go. You're really getting up the wrong fucking tree, dude. Oh!
Tommy.
I swear to God, Scott. This guy is a fucking idiot.
Fuck you.
Fuck you too, cunt.
Chemo, there was a question on the table. What are you running for?
Yeah, and he's not fucking answering it because you have to fucking go, you moron.
Because he's scared, just like all.
I'm
flat
waiting
one's
for
scared of
an
you.
opportunity
No one's
to answer
scared
your
of you,
question,
boy.
Rex. For goodness sake.
Because he's scared, like all flat earthers.
Scared.
Scared of
All
what?
flat
I just
earthers
said
are
to you, Neil
scared.
deGrasse said we can't see curvature from that altitude.
And did he mean lateral curve? On what axis did he mean?
Any
There's
kind of
context for that.
curvature, it can't be seen.
No, he never said. Then he didn't say that. Why are you lying, Chemo?
He said you can't see curvature from those altitudes.
You're lying, Chemo. He said side to side, horizon.
Yeah, you can't see even from back to front.
Get the full quote, Chemo. Why are you lying?
I'm not lying, Rex.
Have you learned anything to do besides lie? No.
Well,
You're lying,
get
Rex.
the
You
quote
said you
then.
have to go. You clearly don't have to go, Rex.
Get the
Your ears
quote,
cause
Rex.
dysfunction
Timo, I
there.
can see curvature on at the beach.
No, that's not physical. It's not real curvature.
Sorry, it is.
No, that's the whole.
You
That's
can
the whole
see
point of the
curvature
Black
from
Swan.
ground level.
Sorry,
You can
yes,
see
at
Earth
ground
curve
level.
from ground level, really?
Yes, at ground
What do you-
level.
All right. So what's
What
the
are you,
formula for that curvature? You
I
don't
don't
know.
need a formula, Chemo. The sun goes below the horizon.
So how do you know that you're not seeing things?
How am I seeing things, Chemo?
How do you know you're not seeing things?
What's that?
How do you know you're not seeing things? It's an illusion.
I am seeing things. I'm seeing the sun go below the horizon.
Yeah, you're not seeing real things. It's just an illusion.
I'm sorry. Then it becomes dark. Is that an illusion too?
Again, you need to measure
Is that
it
an
to make.
illusion too?
When
Is
it
that an
becomes.
illusion? It becomes dark, Chemo. It becomes dark for everybody.
Oh, was it
We're
an
all having a
was it an
mass illusion?
eclipse? Was it an eclipse?
It most certainly was not,
How do you know?
because nothing came before the sun. The
How do
sun
you know?
just went
Did you
below the
measure it?
horizon like it does every day. And guess what, Chemo? The globe model did not
Busted,
predict
Rex.
it. Hold
So
on, I'm
when it
not
came
finished.
dark, you don't know
I'm
if it
not
was an
finished.
eclipse or where the sun went.
Well, guess what? You know why it wasn't an eclipse? Because
How
the
do you
globe
know?
model
Did you
not-
measure it?
No, because the globe
No.
model did not predict an eclipse for that day.
What
So it couldn't have
prediction?
been an
You
eclipse.
said it went dark. Could have been eclipse.
No, the sun went below the
Why? So
horizon.
it doesn't go dark in an eclipse?
No, it doesn't.
No,
it
it
does not
doesn't.
go fully dark.
Of course it goes
No.
dark.
It does not. How many eclipses have you seen?
Loads of eclipses.
I've seen 6. How many have you seen?
Well, a few, yeah, not loads.
No, I've seen 6. How many have you seen? You don't say
A
a few. With
few.
regards to
Maybe
eclipses.
3, maybe
Everybody
4.
knows exactly how many eclipses they've seen.
Yeah, like I say, maybe 3, maybe 4.
You've not seen any. So why?
Of course I have. It goes dark.
You know, because it doesn't.
Yes,
Show me
it does.
Show me one video of an eclipse where it goes dark.
Okay.
Get it, Chemo. Make sure you get a total eclipse, total solar eclipse.
That's what we're talking about, dumbass.
I'm
I'll
just telling Chemo to make sure
I'll
he
show
gets.
you one. I'll show you one.
Hey, Jeremy, I posted 2 equations I use almost daily that refute your claim that we don't use anything for science.
You don't. Math isn't science. You need a hypothesis, an observed phenomena, an experiment. What do you think an equation is? Do you think that's a science?
The equations derived directly from tests, yes.
Okay, so let's see that you have some globe science. Is that what you're telling me? Because I've been waiting all week for this. Since
The
last week.
The volumetric efficiency equation is calculated in atmospheric air pressure and density for any given altitude.
Does this in any way prove the globe?
Proves air pressure.
The science. All right, well, it's not really much.
How about pictures from orbit? Those prove the globe? I think so. As much. You got any pictures of the edge? Got any picture of any retard that says there's an edge?
Hey, what did you have to go do? Did you have to go take a shit and you got your
Yes.
second wind or something?
None of your
What's up?
business. Hey, it's none of your business.
None of my
Why don't you mind
business.
your own fucking business.
You announced it. You made it my business.
Well, now it's not. I unannounced
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry.
I did it just to watch your face fall.
My face. Well, how are you able to watch that, you fucking idiot?
I can hear it, you dumb fuck.
You can hear it. How are you able to hear it?
Because
Are
you
you my
sound
neighbor?
dejected like a retard.
Oh, Rex, you're upset now because you got it wrong
Yeah,
about
you're
going
upset,
dark
Rex.
with the sun, right?
You're upset. You're mad.
That's why you need measurements, Rex. We can't trust your senses, right? You could see anything. Could see anything.
Oh, so it's great. So can you show me I thought flat earthers relied on their senses. Flat earthers are the ones who don't need
You tell the
measurements.
truth. You're apparently a liar.
Wow,
I thought your senses tell you it's flat. You keep telling us
I
that.
thought you said you were gonna go.
No, Rex.
Guys, I have an idea. Let everyone be nicer. How about that? Yeah.
No, man, he's being a fucking cunt, fucking Scott. He's being a cunt, bro. You need to call him out on it, dude.
It's not
you
our
can't just sit there and be a
senses,
fucking
Rex.
cunt and lie.
It's not our
Fuck that
senses,
guy.
Rex. It's water
Being a
tells
complete
us.
fucking asshole, man.
If I was a lying,
I thought it was a good idea.
I'd hate me too. If I was a lying,
was a good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
good.
Hate, such a strong term. You're just a
So,
fucking
Rex,
loser,
now that we've
dude.
taken away your geometry, the fake pictures from space, what else do you have left to prove its support?
Do you have any science?
Yeah, do you have any science for your globe? I mean, that's the one thing I think would.
I'm sorry. I thought you were showing me. Things go dark during eclipse.
Yeah, I
Some
posted it
actual
already.
real science would lock it up for us.
Like nighttime dark.
I've posted it in the chat already.
Did it go pitch dark like night?
Yeah, it was dark.
It was darkish.
No, if you go to where was it? Go to around.
I don't need a whole video. You don't have a picture? Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the
yeah.
timestamp.
So are you suggesting that instead of a sunset, there's an eclipse?
No, I'm saying, how do you know? How do you know? Did you measure the horizon to make sure it's actually going behind the horizon?
No, but I know it's not an eclipse because I know where the sun and the moon are at all times. And guess what? They didn't intersect. So it couldn't have been an eclipse, right? Right. Now, the sunset happens every day. And not only does the sun set on me, but it rises on somebody else. That only happens on a rotating globe. Am I right? Yeah, of course I'm right. Because you've got no other explanation for it, do you?
We don't need an explanation. We just look at what happens in reality.
I know you don't need one. I know you don't need one. But for anybody to believe you, they're going to need one. That's why nobody believes you.
Well, that's why no one believes in the ball.
Do you see the problem yet? Why nobody believes you?
People do believe that they're not on
you're
a
a
spinning
liar.
ball.
You just can't present anything.
We are very successful at changing people from globe to flat, Rex.
Yeah, no. You're very successful for co-opting other retards from other religions.
No. They were once globe earthers, and then they say now we know it's not
really.
none of globe.
No, they were retards waiting to happen, Chemo. It happened.
How many times have you heard we were once like you? We used to think like you.
Yeah, I've heard that lie very often. You were never
loads
like
of times. Yeah, that's what we did by showing people that you don't have science.
Correct. You must correct. There's many people that were once dumb fucks like you, and then have gone to the globe side. I mean, to the fluff side. They have.
You see, he's a convincing flat earther, and he's just acting like a retard.
The reason why they come to the flat Earth is because they tried to prove the globe and they couldn't. It's like if you guys tried to prove.
That means they're a retard, Chemo.
No, because
it's not just that. But they realize that you dumb fuck globers are extremely stupid.
I'm emotional. I'm still
you guys are emotional.
Can I get 3 fucking words into a sentence before you have to start fucking talking over me?
Let's say, for example, Rex, you tried to prove the globe.
Whoa.
You would become a flat earther.
I'm sorry, but Branch is right here.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at the retards you've got around.
And just because you're calling them retards and attacking them personally, it doesn't give any credibility to your argument, dude. You need to stop calling them retards and attack their argument.
Rex, if you
I call them what they are.
Rex, if
you call them what they are all day long, but it doesn't help your argument. Attack their argument, not their.
So that's how he feels.
Right. So if I just came in here and I said, "Hey, look, you're a fucking retard. You're a retard," I'd eventually get muted, right? Because I haven't presented any type of.
What's your justification, though? Tommy,
I haven't presented any type of argument or evidence that is to the contrary.
No, but you
I'm
can't
just here
justify
attacking them personally. You need to attack their argument, and then I'll jump on your side, buddy.
They don't have an argument.
Right, says you, but I've heard
Remember,
their
Rex is a hardcore atheist,
Not
Tommy.
that.
That means that he doesn't believe in the creation of the flat Earth, and he'll do everything he can to.
I think what flat Earth represents is a freedom of thought, as opposed to the actual belief of flat Earth. It's more of a freedom of thought, which is what we're giving the flat Earth disciples.
And just going off of Branch's point, I have heard in 24/7 specifically, it's no longer an argument about the shape of the Earth. It's an argument about.
It's about being free. It's about being free from.
Sorry, but your feelings don't. You feeling free does not amount to squat shit.
Yeah, but
It
but
doesn't amount to spit,
if
Joe.
there's enough people
Sorry,
to
but
create a
so great.
group
I feel like you're
of
a retard.
freedom,
There.
if there's enough people to create a group of freedom, then you can have a society. You can have a
Okay,
society.
you see, and guess what? The flat earthers are agreeing with you because they're just that stupid.
It's not about being stupid. Again,
It is about being stupid.
you're
Bill,
misrepresenting what
you're
Flat Earth is
admitting
about.
it.
Flat Earth is not about that. The Flat Earth is
It
about
is. It's
freedom of
about
thought.
being a
That is the fundamental about Flat Earth is about freedom of thought.
Yeah. So why are they not free to consider evidence?
Right? It's about being able to fucking think for yourself. Don't fucking think for what
All they do is repeat Quantum Eraser and Nathan Oakley. They're not thinking for themselves.
Right, but essentially, okay, no, I think you're wrong
So
about
if
that.
you,
People-
if you investigate
They are
something, right?
leaders.
If I investigate something, right, and I say, hey, look, this is what I have deduced through my investigation.
Right, you do that. We'll see
Right?
how it
Sorry,
goes.
I wasn't done speaking, but you're just
'Cause
gonna
you
have to
haven't-
hold on
yeah,
for a
'cause you're
second because I'm
talking
just
about
gonna
advantages.
interrupt you and raise my voice because you're interrupting me.
You're talking
Right?
about
So if I
fantasy, you
deduce,
haven't
shut the
deduced
fuck
anything.
up for 5 more seconds. Dude. All right. So if I deduce something and I say, hey, look, this is the like whatever I've deduced, this is what it is, and then another person has gone through their thorough investigation and have agreed with me, are they a parrot or like I'm not understanding? Like this parrot term is just such a bullshit term, bro.
I know
It's such a
I know
faulty defense that I don't agree
know
with.
the scenario you're putting forward, and none of that has happened on flat Earth. None.
Like, have you
didn't do it,
read
did you?
1984?
1 second, guys. 1 second. So the
Have you
problem I've
read
got with
1984?
sorry, Branch,
You're
1 second,
not
please.
allowed.
Let the Englishman speak. Let the Englishman speak. Let the Englishman speak.
All I'm trying to
You
point out is the fact
society, but
that
you're not allowed to think for yourself. If essentially becomes
can
a
I just make
society,
one thing?
you have to think like the general populace does. And what Flat Earth is about is thinking otherwise from the general populace. That's what it is about, right? Because if you consider everything, the news you watch, the media you see, right? It's all fucking making you think a certain way, which society wants you to believe, right? And we have two ways to think.
We are society.
The other way, right?
Society wants you to believe this. You want you to believe this.
Oh no! Honestly, dude, that's the thing. Unless you're with the political way of thinking, right? There's no other way to be, and that's the thing that Flat Earth gives.
I know. I think society says all drunks are retarded.
Branch, we are headed towards 1984, though. Branch, it's not going to be 1984 soon.
So I just want to go off. I just want to go off of what this asshole is saying. He said, "Oh, drunks are retarded." I'll have you know that I'm drinking 6 Stellas right now.
And
I haven't said anything uncordial, and I have addressed you in a proper manner. So rest your case. That's no problem. You've still proven that you're being an asshole in this conversation, sir.
You told me the flat earthers do observations and agree with each other, and I haven't seen anything. You said
I haven't agreed with anybody. I haven't interrupted anybody. I've simply tried to moderate this chat, and I've simply tried to carry on the conversation.
No, you're just saying,
so try
you're
again.
saying stupid things, is what you're doing.
No, I'm not saying stupid things, man. I'm not saying stupid things. If one man deduces that 2 plus 2 is 4, I can agree with that man after my own investigation. I've said nothing stupid, and you're projecting because you are the stupid person in this conversation.
You've not done it, nor has any other.
What are you talking about? I've not done it. I said directly in my example. If one person has deduced that 2 plus 2 is 4, and then I also go and deduce that 2 plus 2 is 4, and I agree with him, it's not parroting. Please, sir, try again. You fucking asshole.
Anything a little more
point out quickly, please.
Can you do anything a little more constructive than 2 plus 2?
Go ahead, Dross. Shut Rex up. Go ahead, Dross.
The problem I've got here, and okay, yeah, you can say that being a flat earther is a different way of thinking, blah blah blah. Cool. Okay, don't have a problem with that. I don't restrict the way people think. But if I think that an argument is bad, don't I also have the right to be able to point that out and explain why I think it's a bad argument? So yeah, I mean, And that's all that's really happening here. And I think we could do with a little less of the invective and personal attack.
Listen, they're lower life forms. That's all they understand.
Well, at the moment,
See,
the only
Josh, we
person
can't.
the
Josh,
only
we can't do
person-
it.
They're
One
like
second.
dogs. They
The-
can
the
only learn by negative and
speaking.
positive reinforcement, by being beaten or being rewarded.
Yeah, and I'm
The
glad
carrot
you
or the
don't.
stick,
And I just hope you don't own dogs if that's your attitude, because again, you don't. You're the only person that's showing a problem here is you don't need to attack people that aggressively. Attack the argument, great, yeah.
What
why attack the
argument?
person?
I'm sorry. Present the argument, and I'll attack that.
Well, exactly. So if they're not prepared to
What
present
argument
an
is what I'm
argument,
saying, Truss?
if they're not prepared to present an argument, then fine. Then there's nothing to discuss. You can just say, well, it's an empty. It's your cool. You've given me your opinion. So what?
Well,
That's as far as need to go.
you guys have presented your geodetic surveying argument earlier. That didn't go over so well.
Yeah,
Well,
that's because you're too stupid to understand it.
It's because you guys didn't have the data or know anything about it. hardly.
Sorry, you can't debunk it. Goodbye.
You can't debunk it because you can't give me the information about it.
Well, why don't you find
Ask
your own
anyone that was
information?
here earlier.
No one's giving you
Ask
information.
anyone
Go
that
fuck
was here
yourself.
earlier, Rex.
Jeremy?
They
I
couldn't
was
give me
here
the data.
earlier. No one wants to give you
Yeah.
information. You're not worth it. What would
Jeremy,
you do with it?
You have
What would
no
you do with the
argument. You have
information
no
if you
data.
had
You
it?
have no argument.
You have no data. You have no
You have
argument.
no
Sorry, we
argument,
got
Rex.
all-
Go.
Calm down. So I put a number of links in on how they do it, the methodology behind it, an overview of the Indian survey. All of that was in the chat, Jeremy, and I directed it at most of the flat earthers in the room. So
Me and
you
Coach Cho couldn't find it. So
I
day
will-
one
do you
we're
want-
at
do you want to post it
5.7.
again? I've got
Day
the
one
tabs
we're on.
open, mate.
Day one we're on
this
5.
easy.
We got 5.
Jeremy, stop talking over him.
Yeah. So it's this easy. So you want to look? I left the tabs open in case I needed it again. Oh, actually, I lost the Indian one, but I
Yeah,
can
but
go
that's
back
to
in the
stop
history and
just
find
his
that.
monologuing.
But
Sam.
that's the methodology, and let me go and get the other one.
Jeremy, what do you disagree with or not understand about the geodetic survey? Can I just have
It's nothing I disagree with or don't understand yet. You guys can't give me the data on it.
He
Me and
You
said
have
Kosho
given me
both
the data
couldn't
many
find it.
times.
Where
I
were
give you
you?
the data.
You didn't give it to me. Me
I gave
and
you a whole
Kosho-
test to take. I gave you a whole
Me and
entire
Kosho-
survey test.
Kosho could
You
both
said
not
you
find the
took it. Maybe that was-
information.
Maybe that was Dawn. I can't remember, but I gave. all
Interrupt
the
me some
information
more
you
to
needed.
tell me about something you did with Dawn.
No, I don't. I
Alright,
think
hold
I
on,
gave it to you
Jeremy.
too, but I
You could just shut up and let me say what I'm going to say.
say it.
Okay, me and Kosho earlier were looking for this information. It can't be found. None of you guys could give it to me. So what's up? Where's it
Russ
at?
just said he's got it. Now why are you screaming?
Okay.
I just posted it in the chat again, Jeremy.
Now why are you screaming?
Okay. I looked at those links from earlier, and it's not in there. Kosho also looked through this and couldn't find it. We want to
Stop
know.
invoking Kosho. We're just talking to you.
Jeremy,
That's
what
the- no,
data do
day
you
one.
need?
Hold on 1 second, guys. That's my link. So that's the methodology. So that's what that was for. And there's another post that I did, which was the India. Oh, there we go. I got it. Triangle survey
All right,
of
let's-
India.
About the India one. Day one, 5.7 kilometers they measured. How'd they do it? Let's
Why
hear
don't
the
you read it and
methodology. This
find
is what we
out?
were looking for. Rex, shut up.
Well, you
There you
found
go.
it. Now shut up and read it. Come back.
Find it.
Rex,
I looked
man,
at the
you
thing
said you had to
so
go.
did
Just
Kosho.
leave,
We
bro.
couldn't find it.
Rex, you're not
But now
There's
you
nothing to
have
add
it.
to this, Rex. Just don't bot Rex.
Now you have it,
Add
you
to
little
Rex,
this.
you're
cunt.
not being constructive, dude.
I'm not
Just
intending.
stop, man.
I'm
Just
not.
stop.
It's not my intention to be constructive.
Hey Rex, you probably just need to stop, bro. Like honestly, what you're saying is absolute bullshit.
Aren't you passed out yet?
No, but like you haven't said
That's your
one thing that
argument,
actually-
dude.
Listen,
Let's get back to the argument. Day one.
I'm
Rex,
sorry,
Rex.
Branch. I'm
So
sorry. I
Jeremy-
gotta jump in here, Branch. That's his argument against you. Why don't you pass out? Oh, you're retarded. I haven't heard a single argument from you, Rex. Like honestly, man, you said you have to go and oh, I'm gonna leave flat earthers with this
Right.
question. Just fucking do that, bro. Just do it, man, because you're not making sense.
Tommy,
You're being an
shut
asshole,
up.
man. No,
Trust,
fuck you,
day
dude.
one,
Go
they
suck your
measured
mother.
5.7 kilometers. Trust, day
Alright,
one.
Jeremy,
they
what
measured
data do you need?
Oh my god.
Dude, I've been asking the same
Fuck up.
question.
Let Jeremy
Do you
speak.
need
Shut the
data?
fuck up.
I'm asking
This
a
is the
question.
information we're looking.
What data do you need? Like specifically, what data do you need? You keep saying you need
Stop
data.
talking.
He's literally trying to answer
Oh
you,
my
dude.
god.
He's literally
Just
trying to
shut-
answer
everyone,
you.
Shut up. Oh my God. What is wrong with you? See what I'm saying? Animals in here. Okay? Day one, we got 5.7 miles. Day one, we measure five. We're in the India one. Day one, 5.7 kilometers were measured. What'd they do to get that measurement? Go.
Why don't you find out? Read further and find out.
What a
We
stupid
couldn't
argument against that. What a
We
stupid
couldn't
argument
find
against
it,
that.
Rex.
Shut
Me
the fuck
or
up, dude.
Kosho. Me or Kosho could not find this information that you're saying is right there. It's right here. We got it right here.
It's
Say
right
it
here.
then.
Just go read it. If it's right there, just read it, dude. Your argument is invalid, man.
I've got a good analogy here. So the Brooklyn Bridge, Jeremy.
The
How did
information
they
we
build
want is
it?
not
And
there.
I want you to tell me what they did day one of when they built the Brooklyn Bridge. What did they do day one? What's the first thing they did?
All I want to know is how they got the measurement of 5.7 kilometers. Dross, this is important.
Jeremy, are you talking about the Great Trigonomical Survey of India? That one?
Yeah. So that's in the
exactly.
methodology that I posted. That tells you how they did it. This tells you what they did.
Well, somehow me and Kosho.
But
Why don't you just say
sorry
it
you
then?
don't have a day-by-day diary of, oh yeah, I got up this morning, I had a piss, I shaved, I scratched my ass, then I went outside. I don't have that. What I have is what they did and the methodology. I put those two pieces
that's
of
what I want.
information
I want
together,
the,
and now you join them up, and then you can find out how it was done.
I want the methodology. They got a 5.7
Cool. Then
kilometer
go and read
measurement.
those two articles.
Give it to me. How did they do it? Did they
No.
do? Did they? Were they looking?
No.
Give
What?
it to him. What's the methodology?
I don't know.
Have you
Me
not
and
heard this
Kosho
word
couldn't find
before?
it.
The answer is no, Jeremy, because I have given you the information. Go and fucking read it.
Wait.
not
Where
there.
did you give him the information? Did you DM him? Did
Chemo,
you tag
it's
him?
not there.
He just
Chemo.
told you. He just told you.
You just told him? Sorry.
Oh,
I guess
no,
I
Tony.
I guess I missed. My bad.
I'm very reasonable. I always provide links to stuff, and I don't always get stuff right. I'm
My
not.
bad. I might have
I'm
missed it.
not a survey expert, but what I am is a Google research expert. I know how to use Google.
Smooth.
Very fucking
You asked Jeremy for the data. So are you going to tell him how they got the 7 miles?
I asked him what he needed to specify what he needed. Right.
I want to know how they came about this 5.7 kilometer measurement. Did they make one measurement? Did they do an average? What happened?
Okay, yeah, no problem.
All right, thank you.
How did they do it, Smooth?
Me and
I'm gonna go find out.
Oh,
I just wanted to specifically know what he wanted.
When were you?
He was saying
All
data.
right,
Data is a very broad term.
When will you know?
I mean, we waited 2 hours for this earlier, Chemo. So
I know he's going to tell us now. When he will know? When will you know, Smooth? How they did it?
Depends on how fast I can read.
But the next half hour or something.
So why does it depend on how fast Jeremy can read? How come he doesn't read?
Why is Rex even talking right now?
How come you don't read it, Jeremy? Are you retarded?
I read it. So did Kosho. We couldn't find it.
Stop invoking Kosho. So why did you?
Yo, Rex, I have a genuine question for you. Why is it that you're asking for Jeremy to make your argument, you fucking asshole?
Why do I need Jeremy?
Yo, you said you had to go 47 minutes ago. Just go, bro. You're just being a fucking troll at this point, bro. Holy fuck, man. No, fuck you, man. The guy isn't out here trying to troll other people when he said he was going to go 47 minutes ago, man.
Is it time to call them retards
have a
yet?
problem.
And then he's out here calling people retarded without presenting.
Hold on, Tommy. Rex, 1 second, please. So, I don't think that you read that because it's a 174-page book that I posted. I don't believe you've read it.
Okay, so you don't have the methodology. You're here to tell me that you don't have the methodology for it.
Yes, I do. I've provided you the information.
Okay, how'd they do it? Let's hear it.
You've got the link. Go and read it. I'm not here to teach you.
they didn't do it like
how to
that.
use surveying.
They do it like they
Cool,
said.
fine.
There's
Believe
a
what you want,
flaw.
Jeremy. I'm not here to spoon feed you. I'm not a child.
They can't give it.
And
they
you're not
can't
my
give it to us,
parent.
Chemo.
And
Zanuck,
you
are
want
you
to do a
clicking?
Pyrrhic claim for
Stop the
victory
clicking, please.
because basically you cannot be bothered to do the research you claim you want to do. I'm
Hey, man,
sorry
stop
that you're a
muting.
hypocrite. I'm
Sorry.
sorry.
I have to find your data for you.
Stop fucking muting me. Whoever is muting me, man, stop muting me. Give
you've
me a
got a hot
fucking warning,
mic.
dude.
Shut
It's
the
not a
fuck
hot
up,
fucking
Tommy.
mic. It's not a fucking hot mic. It's me saying stop fucking muting me and stop presenting stupid arguments. This guy has attacked nothing but Jeremy's credibility and character. He hasn't attacked the actual argument, man.
He has
No
not.
one's
You're
really
doing the
talking to you.
exact same
Simply,
thing.
For
You're being
real.
a
well,
hypocrite.
because he's not doing it, dude. I'm sitting here waiting for this guy to present a simple fucking citation or anything that he has. He's too busy calling people retarded, man.
He just gave it to you.
How did
Are
they
you
get the
guys can't read?
5.7 kilometer measurement
Sorry,
on
for the
day
record,
one?
I have not called anybody retarded, stupid,
Shut the
idiot,
fuck up! You
whatever
spent the last
this
5
evening.
minutes calling
No,
Jeremy retarded,
No,
dude.
No,
You're
the
a
only thing-
liar.
The only thing I have done is I said he was a hypocrite. That's the only invective I have used against him. Do not put words in my mouth that I have not said.
Druss is fine.
You
Druss,
called
how-
Jeremy a liar, and
Listen,
he said
Druss-
he was a liar.
What we need, though,
Sorry,
Tony.
go ahead, Jeremy.
What we
Sorry,
need, yeah.
sorry,
What
sorry.
Jeremy needs
I don't
is
care who called.
I
Listen,
was
it doesn't matter who
interrupting
called who a liar. Let's just get this information.
methodology.
That's all I want.
Mm-hmm. Get the
All I
methodology
want
for
is this
Jeremy.
information.
But look, Smooth
So
is
we-
on it. So we're in the meantime, Jeremy. Just he's said he's going to take 30 minutes to get it.
Hey, Jeremy,
Oh, he's got
can
it
I just
already.
ask a question?
Mhm.
What's up?
I'm reading the Indian article. Can you just tell me what paragraph states the 5 something mile? I have yet to stumble upon that value.
Kosho gave me this number. And how did they get their first measurement? All
What
right, Kosho
first
told me it was
measurement?
5.
Wait, hold on. What first measurement would you like to dispute?
Okay, they did this. They did this trigonometrical surveying in India, right? I want the
Yes.
first measurement.
Measurement of what, Jeremy?
Whatever they measured. What did they measure? Let's I know what they are.
Don't do this, Jeremy. The document is there. Go read it.
Oh, Rocket, come on.
There's no short. You know what? It annoys me. There are no shortcuts to science or learning. Okay, you have to do the work. There's the document. Read the damn thing.
You've done it already. Just tell us.
Hold on. There's a mistake here, right? Jeremy has not read this document because I'm reading through the initial document and I don't know what value 5 point whatever miles is, nor do I see it stated yet.
Hey,
right? He
Jeremy
can't
just learned the
cite what
Pythagorean
paragraph this value is from.
I
So
don't know.
that
Kosho gave me.
Right,
Kosho
so
gave me a
but
value.
if you read the fucking document, then you would know exactly where that value is. But you didn't read the document, yet you're claiming you have. So you're asking me to provide you evidence on how something works when you don't even know what value you're fucking talking about.
Give me
Nor
a
do you
value.
even know where it is.
Give me a value in the methodology they use to
Point
get
to
it.
whoever's
That's all I
talking.
want. I've been asking for that all day.
They either want to be spoon-fed or provide a video.
Yeah, you want
That's
to
what
tell
these
us.
guys want. That's
You're
what
the
Kimo wants. That's
expert.
what
We're the
Jeremy
student.
wants.
So just tell us.
Who offered to read the stuff? Who made the kind offer to actually read the doc, go through and do the research?
I'm reading it right now.
Sorry,
Right,
that's
what does it
smooth.
say?
Okay, mate, no worries. I just want to know who to tag because you're actually being really reasonable. So what I'm doing, I found some of the historical documents that sit behind that particular survey. I'm going to go and try and go through a couple of academic sites now to see if I can get a hold of any of the diaries for the people that were on there.
I'm flabbergasted that he
Why is
keeps
it this
quoting
hard to
the
find out
value
how
of
they did
5
it?
miles.
Why is it this
Here's the
hard?
problem.
Diaries?
Emo, here's the problem.
diaries.
He's claiming that the value of 5 miles is what needs to be contested, right? I'm going through this and I don't see a 5 mile quotation anywhere. The first table is talking about, it's not saying days, it's
All right,
years.
fine.
It's talking
Kosho
about
set him up then. Fine. What do we do? Move on. Let's look at what the data is.
Actually,
I'm
flabbergasted. If you look at page 1 of that document that I've just posted, it actually William Lamberton, a geographer and well-known. Oh, sorry, I'm going to zoom this in because I haven't got glasses on. As well as a geodesist, correctly understood the accurate map of the large country. Blah 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 blah, and then it goes into kind of the methodology there and some of the angles he starts to mention. So right at the beginning of this book, it's starting to talk about what he did.
Go on,
So
then, we're listening.
what are
What
you
did he
in
do?
doubt of that they did this?
All right, so before moving forward, Jeremy, right? Let's get a qualification of what data you accept. So, are you saying that you don't trust the results because you don't understand how the results were gotten?
Yeah,
retrieved?
what was the methodology?
I have yet to hear how the results were gotten. So let's hear it, and then we can move forward from there.
Jeremy,
don't play
you
your
don't even know what
stupid
the
little game with
results
me.
are. Play a
I
stupid
don't know
game.
how they got the
Jeremy, I've
results.
already
If you tell
shown
me-
that Your claim that
If you
you've read
tell
this
me,
article is false. You have not read
if you
this
tell, I
article.
was trusting Kosho gave me an accurate.
Okay, so you just admitted plainly to the public that you used to claim that you read this article. Now you're claiming that
Nah,
Kosho
so
gave
he
you the
went
wrong
over it
Wait,
with
wait, hold on.
Kosho.
Sorry, I just got back.
Kosho set him up.
What are
That
you
was
saying?
all.
No, no. What are you saying that I did?
Let me
Kosho.
finish.
But you've set
Let me
Jeremy up,
Kosho,
finish.
Kosho.
hold on.
Okay, or not.
Kosho,
So-
back at the Indian trigonometrical survey. You gave me the first distance they measured, 5.7 kilometers. No.
That's what said on that one that you posted that you had in the chat.
Yeah,
the
where's
first
the
measurement,
5.7 kilometers
I'm
come
I'm
from?
gonna give you a masterclass in fucking how to do
Yeah,
research.
dude, that was the very
Okay, so
first.
there's-
That was the first measurement. They did a bunch of measurements. It's not just one
Okay.
measurement. It's a
I
series.
know.
It's like 40
First
years of
measurement,
measurements.
Where? I don't see that
5.7
first
kilometers.
Ah,
measurement.
There
so
we go.
Smooth, you're trying to set us up. Okay.
I'm not. I don't
What do
see
you
that
mean?
measurement. I'm asking where it is.
Well, we've just told you where it is, and you're trying to make us look bad, and we've given the
Tell
information.
me what paragraph. What paragraph so I can cite it. So I can see what.
Kosho's here now.
Smooth.
He just told
How
you.
do you know they did the measurements?
Where? What paragraph? Maybe I missed
How
it.
do you know they actually did the measurements, Smooth?
No, look, are we being
How do you
set
know it
up
wasn't
or what? What is it? 5.7 kilometers or not, Jeremy? What's going on?
Jeremy
Jeremy
doesn't know. He didn't read it.
It was done
Timo,
in
I
the
took Kosho's
1800s.
word
It was
for it.
done in
that
the
he was
early
giving me accurate.
1800s, so it would have been miles, not kilometers.
Well, Kosho told me 5.7
Well,
kilometers. I don't know what to tell you guys.
probably in those days,
don't
it would have
know.
been like
Now,
even
Ford is
miles,
just
right?
trying to set
Like,
us up.
what was the?
I tell you,
Actually,
we're on to all
it
of you,
wasn't miles.
right?
So what I've done now is I've also put in the Earl of Ross, Vice President
sure,
and
21.
Chair of the Society, and his observations, which is another book that's there. So that's a particular section there talking about this particular survey and some of the new instrumentation that they actually brought on board to do it. So again, you've now got that information.
So,
you
Smooth,
expect him to read
now,
it
now you
now.
have the data,
Okay.
Smooth. Can you tell us how they got the 5.7 kilometers?
No,
I
let
still
Jeremy
have
read
yet
it.
Sorry?
to see where
7.5 miles.
Kosho's told
5.7.
you. You're not listening.
7.5 miles
Okay,
baseline.
first of all, Emo,
Kosho already told me it
gave
was
me a different
5.7
article.
kilometers.
He gave me a different article, the one that he was referencing. So Jeremy has no fucking idea what he's talking about. He said that the article I was reading held the data and that he read it.
I never said the article was reading held the data. I never said that. I don't know what you're reading, or I haven't looked at my phone since 2 hours ago.
Okay, so look, forget all that. We've got the data. How did they do it, Smooth?
Can you tell me what paragraph it is?
Oh God!
What is wrong with asking what paragraph your claim data is so I can reference it?
Kosho, can you tell him? So this looks like a setup. This does. Looks very odd. If this was a deal, you know.
If I was a Glober and this was my proof, I'd have this on the cuff, ready to go, loaded, locked and loaded. What's wrong with you people?
We've got pictures
Right,
from space
Timo?
showing a nice big ball.
I mean,
We've
honestly,
got
guys,
lots of other evidence.
Glo-
We've got
Globus-
lots of
Globus-
telemetry from lots of different
Wow,
places.
Jeremy, you're
and
fucking
you want to look.
hold on.
1 second, I want to finish this point.
Okay, go ahead.
And you want to look at information that's over 200, nearly 200 years old.
As
This
Globus,
is-
I
listen,
like
didn't bring
looking
this
at
up.
the
Jay
best,
brought this
most
up earlier.
up-to-date information. I'm just
to being a
talking for me
Globus, the
personally,
fact that
Jeremy.
it's been 200
You're
years
trying to
old
color
and be
this
stated
to all of
20
us,
years
and
ago.
I'm saying I'm not
That's
part of
bullshit.
that.
But
Jem
even
brought
as
this
Globus,
up, not me.
you've
I'm not the
had
one
this
trying
much
to-
time to fucking prove the globe, and you still can't do it. What's wrong with you?
Right, Brandon? What is wrong with you people?
Jeremy, are you kidding me? You are not willing to put the effort
The
to
amount
learn
of
something.
effort I put into you guys. Are you
No,
serious?
this is bullshit, Jeremy. This is total bullshit. How many of the documents have you actually read that have been shared with you? Links, videos? Because based on
I've
your
watched some
responses
videos.
in
I've
the
watched
entire
some
time,
videos.
I don't think you actually put any effort into this.
I've skimmed some links.
All you do is
read
you go to
some titles.
24/7, you listen to QE, and you come back and you spout his bullshit here.
Very simple question, Jeremy. What was
It's a
the last book?
24/7
Very
fallacy.
quickly, I want you to answer this question. What was the last book you read?
On Intelligence by I can't think of the guy's name. It was called On Intelligence or something. Something about AI or the brain or something. I forget.
I think it was.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
It was probably a picture book.
It was an audio book.
No. I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to say that.
I'm sorry. Does it matter? Does it matter what book?
Yeah, and what's wrong with picture books?
Does it matter?
Rocky would
Does it
read
fucking
picture
matter?
books.
Well, what point are you trying to make? By
Are you
asking
just
him
here to
what-
insult him, rocket scientist?
I've been listening for the past 3 hours.
Who cares what you've been
know
doing? Who cares what you've been doing?
Listen to his nonsense,
Who
him
cares?
demanding evidence when it's been provided.
Who cares?
Evidence is not
Shut up, Rocky. You can't even tell the radius is not
evidence.
on a spherical
What I want
axis
is
equation.
Rocket scientist, you are being rather abusive. Come on.
You guys compromise.
No, I'm pointing out that Jeremy is refusing to do the work.
Help Jeremy. Don't attack him.
No, we have.
Timo,
helped
this
them.
is their
We
evidence.
pointed them in every direction.
Done attacking everyone in the room.
Timo, they want
Kosher,
to
you set Jeremy up, don't you start, right? Because you gave
Stop saying your
Jeremy
shit.
5.7 kilometers. He's
Stick
now
your shit, chemo. It's
he's
posted
now-
in the chat.
He's now on
Keep
the
my name
back
out of your
foot.
mouth before you look fucking dumb.
Okay, can you give Smooth the data so we can move forward?
No, give Jeremy the data.
Yes, I want the data. How is this 5.7
Give it to
kilometer
the
measurement
retard.
taken? Please.
It's in the chat.
Tell me how this
Last
5.7
post by
kilometer was
Kosho.
taken.
White
In
picture,
the
yellow
chat,
highlight.
learn to read.
It was measured with a 100-foot chain over land to measure 5-point-something kilometers. 100-foot
With a
chain.
chain?
Yeah, with a chain.
With a chain,
Hey,
Jeremy.
Jeremy, it's the same way you want to make your straight line, dumbass.
If we did this as flat earthers, they would laugh us out of the room. But here's their globe proof right here.
Well,
With
they
a
put
chain.
chain in the shade.
Over
let's let it go over
topography.
Tommy, because I
Was
don't
this
want
land flat?
This was
this
in
land
the
flat that
1800s.
they were measuring?
Exactly.
Let it
This
go
was
over
in the
Tommy. It was made with a
1800s.
chain.
Yeah, I know it's in the 1800s. You are using it for proof. It's sad.
No, this is how it started, and then
Yeah,
as
it's sad that
Let me
you're
finish.
using it as proof.
Actually,
Yeah.
wait 1 second, if you don't mind. On the Great Survey of India, I do not believe they use chains. I believe, just having read the first paragraph and a half of one of the documents that I
Goodness sake,
posted,
can you get your
that they
story
actually
straight?
brought in some new theodolite equipment that they used to
Okay.
do this.
So what Kosho
Okay.
posted was bullcrap then. Cool.
No, because William Lambton was the first superintendent, started in 1880 to 1821, and he was the first superintendent of the surveying. And as they went through the 103 years, they progressed through different surveyors.
We're only
So-
talking about the first one. We're going to start at
Okay,
number one.
so,
And we're going
Jeremy,
to work
So
our
there
way
was
forward.
chains, and the
Jeremy, I
reason.
gave you
And
the
hold on a second. The reason we're starting back this before we lose this point is that Stacy came in here and asked where the first measurements of the Earth came from. That's why we've gone back to the 1800s. But don't rule out the 21st century technology, i.e., lidar and lasers. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
that's
are
very
done from orbit.
very dishonest.
I don't. I use lasers every day. I used one this morning. They're very
No, you
accurate.
don't.
Rakia,
Guess
all right,
what? We're
so
gonna call you a
going
liar.
back to Jeremy, we have provided you the evidence on how the first measurement is made. Okay?
Is it a 5.7 kilometer measurement?
Yes.
With the chain.
Was it done with chains?
Yes.
It was done with chains.
Yes.
100-foot chain.
1,000-foot chain.
1,000-foot chain. That's
How did you want to do it? How did you want to do it, Jeremy?
Wait, hold on, Rex. 1 sec.
They did it with 1,000-foot chain. That's it. No theodolites, nothing.
Who said 1,000-foot?
That's what the data says. The article said 1,000-foot chain. Why? Jeremy,
No,
you
it says
clearly have
100-foot chain. It says 100-foot chain.
my
What Kosho
mistake.
posted. Yeah, 100
My
foot.
mistake. My mistake.
So they measured. Let me just get this straight. This is proof of a. This is proof of a curved surface, and they used a 100-foot chain.
Jeremy,
No,
a 100-foot chain is not proof of a curved surface.
Ridiculous.
What are you
Jeremy,
talking about?
We
Please.
use tools, right?
Jeremy's
to
got them.
prove
Got them,
a curved
Jeremy.
surface.
Okay,
that took all day
you
to get
both
that
haven't
answer.
read. You both haven't even read the captions under the pictures because you think that it's just
Wow.
change and that's it. So it's quite
Smooth just
dishonest
said it
of
was
you
just
to
change.
try and.
So was
We
it more?
read-
Am
we
I getting
read what
inaccurate
Kosho
information
posted.
from
It
Smooth?
was 103 years of surveying
Everybody
as they
I was just
progressed
talking
to the
about the first one.
19th
That's all-
century.
I can't debunk all 103 years right in this single moment.
You can't
We're going
debunk
to start at the
shit.
first one
You can't
and work our
debunk
way forward.
one of them.
They won't let you
Swear to
speak,
Yeah,
God,
we're starting
Jeremy.
at the
you don't
first
get
one. If
out
I
of
could
this
get any
fucking
kind of
VC,
accurate
bro.
information
Sorry.
on this first one, I would have had it
It's
debunked
all in the
already.
chat,
Oh,
Jeremy.
they're all
Read it.
panicking now, Jeremy.
Read it.
You've got
You know
them.
what I'm saying,
No.
Kimo? I've been trying to get this
Right, Kimo.
information all day.
All
Smooth
day long.
And
apparently
now
just
you
keeps
got it. Why are
walking
you
from
still
shit.
crying?
Insulting.
You won't let him
I
give his
was-
And then we got
conclusion now.
Rex.
He wants
I
to
don't
give
know
his
why Rex
conclusion.
is even here.
He
Go ahead,
conclusion.
Kimo.
He hasn't even begun.
He can't even get a word out.
Why should he? His words are retarded.
So he's got the chain, Jeremy, 100-foot chain.
Okay, is that all they used to make this measurement? Was a 100-foot chain,
Read
or was
it.
there more?
Find out.
You read it, man. This is getting
No.
insulting now.
No, it wasn't.
Rex, I swear to
He's
God,
got to
just
read it.
disappear.
Make him read it, guys. Make him read
This
it.
is your evidence.
Make
any
him
more
read it.
information.
Give him nothing. Let him twist
I
it.
would be-
Give
I would
him
be-
nothing.
Oh my God.
I would be ecstatic to give my evidence if I had it. Why are you
No,
guys
because
like,
we
not
know the
saying
Earth
it?
is a globe.
You guys
If
are
you
not
had flat
letting
Earth evidence,
Jeremy
you'd be
talk.
ecstatic.
You guys are not even letting Jeremy talk. Shut the fuck up
Fuck
and let
Jeremy
Jeremy
and
talk.
fuck you.
If I had
Hey
evidence, I
man,
wouldn't be
you
saying,
think you're
oh,
the king of this VC, bro? It's not hard to overtalk people in this
That's
bitch.
the other little cunt.
Shut the fuck up, Rex, bro. You haven't presented anything that's
Oh,
worth
look, it's
looking
the
at.
drunken donut.
Oh, it's the drunken donut. Shut your fucking mouth, bro. Good argument. Just be
Some other
quiet,
cunt
bro.
will get
You
it
haven't
tomorrow.
presented anything against their argument, dude. Just
Yo,
stop,
we'll-
man.
Yo,
Maybe
fetal
we'll get it
stop.
tomorrow,
syndrome.
Kimo.
Shut the
up.
fuck up, man. I'll consume more alcohol, but that doesn't excuse your behavior.
All right, fetal alcohol syndrome. Get on with yourself.
Fetal alcohol syndrome. Good diss,
That
bro.
was you.
Keep attacking me personally.
Okay, all right,
I haven't
enough,
said
enough.
anything
That
that's
was an attack on your
uncordial.
mother.
You're being a
Tommy.
disrespectful
Tommy.
fuck, dude. You've
Enough.
contributed
How do you
nothing.
know?
Don't
Tommy,
tell me
you're
enough.
drunk.
Tell your little globe click enough, dude.
How do you know?
Okay,
You're
so
drunk.
I haven't
Jeremy,
done
I have
anything
All I
that's out
want
of
is
the
the
ordinary.
Jeremy,
information
I
for the
have your
first
answer.
measurement.
Jeremy, I have your.
Don't give him any answers.
It's
Smith.
okay.
Why? Why are you saying
Alright,
don't
so-
give him any answers?
Give him
Just
the answer.
Because you're
Jeremy,
You're too
lazy.
lazy.
Jeremy, here's your
Yeah.
answer.
Let's
Right,
hear it.
so they used the chain, and this paragraph I'm going to read to you is quoted halfway down. The instruments of choice
no.
were the
Please.
Boonan, you're interrupting it. Bad smooth.
instruments of choice were a theodolite that weighed 50 kilograms and a zenith sector. The theodolite was an instrument to measure the vertical and horizontal angles of the land for triangulation and contained finely calibrated micrometers, microscopes, and a spirit levels to provide precise measurements.
Right. So they were measuring drop from a horizontal using a theodolite. Is that what I gleaned from this?
Jeremy, you're not allowed to make any summaries until you read the whole article. I'm answering your questions, and they don't seem to be doing much to help you.
Okay. Were they measuring drop from a horizontal using the theodolite?
The article, dude.
Yeah, come on.
Amazing. If I
Give
was a
him
Glober and I had
Tell
this
him to go
globe
fuck
proof,
himself.
I would be shouting it from rooftops, telling everyone. You
I
guys are
know.
like
We
unwilling
don't
to give
have
it
to
out.
do your homework.
No, we
for
don't
you.
have to do that. We're secure. We've got pictures from orbit, dude.
This is
We
your
don't
evidence,
have to do your
not
homework
mine.
for
Sorry.
you. If you want to do a
Yeah,
history
sorry.
lesson for yourself and read about how they
Amazing.
did this
Absolutely
historically,
amazing.
We have.
then that is fine.
This
But
is
don't
downright
demand that other
despicable.
people do it for you.
Like this is
That's all.
despicable.
Jeremy,
right
this
here.
is a
We
very
have.
short article. Why can't you read
It is.
it?
This is absolutely despicable. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you got evidence of the globe. Let's hear it.
No, because you're the
read
one
it.
trying to debunk it, Jeremy. So you've got to
So
challenge
what?
the narrative. And when you challenge the narrative and make the claim that it's false or lies or anything, it's on you to prove it that it is. So it's up to you to read the article that no one wants to read you like a bedtime story. It's that simple, man. We're growing
Here,
adults
all right,
in
let's
this
do
room.
this.
It's not
Jeremy,
that simple at
Jeremy,
all.
come
It's
into
not-
the lower
It
chat
is
with me.
not that
Okay,
simple
maybe not all
at
of
all.
us.
It's not that
Jeremy,
simple.
come
Come
into the
If
lower
it was
chat,
that simple,
and I'll
was
read
that
you the
simple,
whole
why-
article.
Are they measuring drop from a horizontal using a theodolite?
Jeremy,
Yes or
Give
no?
him nothing.
come into the lower chat. I'll read the entire article to you.
There you
Whoa.
go.
I
Be a
just
little
need this one little
story.
question answered, and we can
Make
move
them-
on.
We'll
No,
work
you-
on it together. Come
you-
to whatever
do it.
chat. I
Yeah.
don't
Do
have
it.
any other accessible to me.
Yo,
And
make him
I
a
will
hot
read you the
cocoa,
whole
too.
thing. I'll read
I
you the
don't need
entire
this thing
article.
read to me. I need one simple answer. Were they
No,
measuring
we're bored.
drop? Were they
No.
measuring
Jeremy,
drop from
I don't know
horizontal
yet.
using a theodolite?
No.
I don't know
It's
yet.
yes or no.
No,
I
you
don't don't
read
know.
it.
I have to read it.
Yeah.
So let's go
Big
read
time
it
story.
together. Come on, Jeremy.
Make
I'm literally
Big time.
If you guys
offering
ever get
you.
any answers, let me know.
Jeremy,
It's the
I'm offering you
afternoon
the
nap
chance
time,
right
Jeremy.
now. Come on. Let's go read it
If you guys
together.
ever get
nap.
any, you guys can ever answer my question, let me know.
Story
Jeremy,
and a nap.
I'm trying to
Never a
answer
straight
your question
answer,
right now.
It's a
I'm
yes or
inviting
no.
you. I'm
It's yes
inviting
or
you
no.
to come read
I
it
don't
with
need to
me,
go to
and I will
another
read
room
it
with
to
you.
you.
We don't need to get a
Let's
hotel
reclear.
room. Just tell me yes or no.
Let's
What?
clarify the point. Let's
Why do you do
clarify
that?
the point.
Homosexual.
Why do you want to get hotel
clarify
room?
the point.
You want to fuck him? Like seriously,
Sorry,
dude. Why
sorry,
do you want
sorry.
to get hotel
This
room?
conversation is devolving. You're talking about
Yeah.
fucking and homosexuality.
I
Let's
know,
get
no.
back to the
Good call,
point.
Tommy. Good call,
Yeah.
No
Tommy.
problem, brother. No problem. What's the
Well,
point here?
Jeremy,
What's the point?
well, hold
The
on.
point
Jeremy,
is
you
that
wanted.
Jeremy's got a chance now to have the article that he's too lazy to read himself read
Huh?
to him in another room to take away from the people who don't want to hear that, which is a nice,
Okay, this
gesture
could have
from
all been
Smooth,
over.
and he's denying it because he wants a takeaway answer, fast food takeaway type delivery system, and it's not offered for him.
Yeah,
You're
just need a
basically
yes or-
crying
Can I
about it
jump
now,
through his-
Jeremy. No one's
I
gonna
just need a yes or
cater
no
to your
answer.
needs. We're not a monkey
This
that
could have
comes
been
out of
over
the
like
box
5
and
minutes ago.
plays
Wait till
for
whoever
you.
just said
This is
that.
unbelievable.
So
Let's
Jeremy,
rock and
come-
roll.
Jeremy, hang on, Jeremy.
Well, hold on.
Why
You know,
won't you
I
read
got
the
a little bit
article?
late to this.
Where's the
I got a
article?
little bit late to this, but isn't this this historical study of how they're surveying India? Isn't this an inquiry that Jeremy wanted to make?
Yes.
No, this is Jem. Jem provided this as evidence earlier.
Okay, hold on. Okay, if you're gonna change it
Or I
and
don't know.
put it on
I
Jim,
thought maybe it wasn't Jem. Somebody
it
brought
was
this up earlier. Now we're
Stacy,
talking about it.
another flat earther, and then you came in and challenged the narrative that was being explained to Stacy. So now it's on you to go how far into this topic that you want to. What you want us to do is read it for you and give you the key points. That's not going to
Just want
happen.
an answer on if they measure
you
drop
get
from a horizontal or
nothing.
not.
You get nothing until you do the work.
Why?
Jeremy, there's
This
such
is
thing
why.
as due diligence,
Rex,
right?
you have
So that's
no
something
fucking
you have
say.
to do. If this is something that you want to take further, because everyone here, well, I wouldn't say everyone here, but most of the globe earthers here, we kind of don't care about this because this is 200 years ago. We have more modern methods of determining this. But if you want to do a historical study of the methods that they used back then, that's all on you, buddy.
Problem
Fine, if
is,
you guys have no
Metal
proof,
Slug,
if you guys
how
have
this,
no proof for this,
the problem is, Metal Slug, how this began is that all your modern techniques are based on R.
No, they're not.
You see, and that's something we
They're
need to
not.
go. We need to
They're
go back in
not.
history. The reason why we're going back in history is to figure out who figured out the R
No.
value, right?
No, guess what? We could remap with satellites right now in LiDAR. We could remap the world in less than a month.
Yeah, all based on R. Satellites don't orbit.
No, it's
Yep.
not based on R.
Sorry, Kimo, but that's just the way it is.
R is derived.
It's based on D. It's based on D, you dummy. Based on D.
Yeah.
Distance.
I posted the tables from the survey with the updates before chemo. I'll put them again here so you can see them, and now you know because I'm announcing it to you. These, if you read this is from the trigonometrical survey, and if you read, you notice that it leaves after 1921. There's more updates: 1924, 40, all the rest of it, all the way up until the more modern things. And if you notice the differences in the radius, they're only changing by decimals, not even full meters. So they're also done across countries and locations. So if that doesn't put it into perspective that it's updated and tested for accuracy periodically, you can't hold on to the 1800s anymore because we've got observations within decimal places done in 1984.
The
All
flat
right?
earthers don't understand the implications of that.
Ah, but you
No,
said
none of
1984.
that
It's all
matters
Wellian
until-
measurements.
None of that matters until you explain how you got the R value. And that's
Read
why we're
the
going back
article.
in history. Because everything you have today
Read
is
the-
based
No,
off
it's
that.
Chemo, I have an issue at the moment.
Sorry,
The
I
R
just had
value
a
is not
quick
in that
question for
formula.
chemo.
You know that.
Wait, quick question for chemo. So, do you understand how to get an R value of a circle?
But that's addressing metals.
Answer the question.
I'm addressing metals point here, which is
No,
that's why they're
no.
going back.
I had a direct
in
question
history.
to you.
You're derailing Jeremy's
Go on.
point. Is how? What was
No,
the method?
no.
You still
This is
don't have an
about you
answer.
this time. You skip to Maluma, darling, and answer the question.
So carry on, Jeremy.
Emo, they're
Emo,
unwilling.
we
no,
have
they're just
provided
unwilling to
the
give it to
evidence
me. I mean,
needed
there's
for
nowhere else
Jeremy.
to. There's nowhere else to go. I just need a yes or no answer, and they want to
You
read me a
get
book.
nothing. You get nothing. Sorry.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
not
See,
reading
that
that
gets
book,
you.
Jeremy.
You get nothing because you're not
Every
listening.
time
What
you
do with the
talk, Rex,
information if you're
I'm
not
gonna
listening?
pipe up because you said over an hour ago that you were gonna leave.
Tommy, shut
Yes,
the
so go
fuck
fuck
up.
yourself. I didn't.
You shut the fuck up, cunt.
Right, so Jeremy, I won't. I'm free to admit my shortcomings. Can you explain to me the importance of using a theodolite to measure a horizontal drop?
Sorry, what was that?
You're asking if the theodolite was used to measure horizontal drop. Can you explain? I don't know the importance, right? I don't understand why this is such an important topic. Can you explain it to me?
I just want to know how they were getting the drop from horizontal in this India trigonometrical surveying they did. That's all.
No, that wasn't your question. Your question was, are they using the theodolite to measure the horizontal drop? My
Yes,
question
are
is,
they?
what's the importance of that question?
Jeremy is suggesting that they've been flawed from the very beginning, I think, right?
Because it's very important that of how they got this drop, right? It's all about
Jeremy,
drop.
do you understand how they even
No.
made the measurements? Like, do you understand where that value goes into the calculation to find the arc?
I'm trying to figure out how they got that value, but I mean, I can't get a straight answer. Did they do it using a theodolite?
Okay, Jeremy, so you have an issue. So the better answer would be, how do you get the drop value instead of are they using this instrument? And then secondly, what is the importance of that value in the calculation to find the meridian arc? Do you know the formula that was used?
Dude, I just want to know how they're getting dropped. How'd they measure the drop?
But why do you need to know that?
Because if it's not dropping, we're not on a curve. That's why I need to know that.
You could have read it. You could have gone and read the article now, Jeremy, in this time that you've been saying, give me the answer, I'm too fucking lazy to look it up. You could have gone and read it. And I'll tell you what, when you see the fire hose technique in chapter 32, you'll be really impressed. They had some really good methods of getting it.
I have a very
we've
important
got some
job
really,
right now to make
some
sure
really good
nobody's
methods. Go and
children.
read chapter 33.
Listen, I have a
Now
very
go and read
important
it, mate.
job
There's
right
some
now to
really
make sure
good
nobody's children. Of course, you need to overtalk me. All right.
Yeah, no,
Jeremy,
I have a very
let's
important job
stay
right now.
let's stay focused on our topic, right?
I
So
have a very.
I'd like to stay focused
I
on.
know what your job is, okay? But
Okay.
let's stay focused on the topic.
I'm a
So
state employee. All right.
you want to understand how they got the drop. Why?
So we can figure out how you got the radius.
All
I
right,
wanna
so
know, the Earth is a-
Jeremy,
the-
what
the
is
Earth is a-
what is the calculation used? Tell me
Is the
what
Earth
the
a globe?
calculation used.
Is the Earth a globe dropping away from our feet with distance? Hello?
I don't fully understand how to answer that question.
Is the Earth a globe with the Earth dropping away with distance from our feet, from a horizontal plane?
The Earth is a globe. Yes. Move on.
I don't understand how
Okay,
to
then-
answer the second part. Yeah.
The Earth being a globe is in contention, which is why we need to know how they measured this drop. Because I don't
So
think
why
it
don't you read?
exists.
Why don't you read the
Rex,
article?
Rex, why are you even talking right now?
Read the article.
Why
That's
are
what
you
all your
talking?
answers are. Are you
I just
illiterate?
told you I can't read the article.
Who gives
I'm
it?
at work.
Of course you
Why
can.
don't you go do something with your life?
Why don't you go fuck yourself?
Read the article, Jeremy.
Yo,
I'm
go
at
monitor
work.
the
I
fucking
haven't
girls'
read
room.
it.
You
Why don't you read the article, Rex, and tell us what it says?
because I don't give a shit.
I've read the article.
This
I've
is
read
your
it.
best
I've been reading
evidence
it.
of a globe. You should read it.
I have pictures from orbit.
I've been
I'm
reading
fine.
it. No.
You have pictures. Who drew them?
Your mother.
All
Now
right,
leave
Right.
me
all right,
alone.
there
all
you
right.
go. So they're all
All
only
right, hang
they're
on.
only
Chemo.
arcs.
Chemo. Chemo, stop. This is between Jeremy and the other guy, right? Why do you keep interjecting your fucking bullshit when all they're
Why
asking
didn't
him
you
to do
tell
is
that other
read
guy to be
a
quiet?
section of the damn article?
Hey, why didn't you tell that
That's
other
all
guy to
they're
be quiet? He
asking.
keeps interrupting. Chemo didn't do anything. What is y'all's
No,
problem, man? Y'all
no.
are biased.
Listen. No, Chemo
Tell
keeps
that
talking
drunk
about
guy to
people
shut
over
up.
talking. Chemo keeps talking about people over talking, and that's what Chemo keeps fucking doing. He's the fucking hypocrite here.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not the one who wants the answers. I'm not the one asking all these questions. It's Jeremy. The answers are right there in the article. He can't be bothered to read it.
Yeah, but have you even read it, Rex?
So, look, clean up the fucking girls' room, then go home and read the article.
I am in the girls' room. How'd you know that?
Because I can smell you.
Rex, you haven't even read this article yourself, yet you want Jeremy to read it, right?
Chemo, did
Why
you not
would I want
hear
to read
Rex?
the
He
article?
goes,
Do you hear me badgering him with questions about the article?
This is
No,
your
I
best
don't give a
evidence
shit.
of a
He's the one who
globe.
gives a shit. Let him do the reading. If you give a shit, you do the reading.
This is your
It's
best
that
evidence.
Simple. It's not my
Chemo.
evidence, dude. I just don't give a shit. The earth is round. That's all I know. Anyway, you've got nothing. If you had evidence like this, you'd be screaming it from the fucking rooftops. That's because
And
you
what
don't
part
have any
of-
evidence.
Yeah, what part of Rex saying, I don't give a fuck about what you think, did you not understand, Chemo?
Look, Rex, your whole cosmology doesn't
Shut
make
the
sense.
fuck up, Chemo.
Okay? Just attacking Jeremy for no good reason.
No good reason.
I'm just trying to have a conversation with Jeremy. But there's like
There's
8 guys
always-
fighting each other in the middle.
But there's always good reason to attack Jeremy. How dare you, Chemo?
He's an idiot
Jeremy's
and
probably
a
your
cunt.
best hope here because he's actually trying to find out more than most flat earthers.
No,
how
he's a lying cunt just like you.
he's trying to find out the history behind how you've done these things, how you've measured these
The
things.
article is right there. Why doesn't he read it?
He's trying to find a shortcut to debunking it, and he's trying to use us to get it. He doesn't
Play the
understand
game.
any of this. He can't do anything with it. Just the usual rhetoric.
I mean,
He can read it.
Dross practically posted a library of shit. Not one fucking thank you from that little cunt.
He doesn't want the information for anything other than to try to twist something.
Well, this is
he
Chemo's
can use.
Chemo's
Oh, I'm
contending
gonna-
that
I'll
he wants to
debunk it,
learn
yeah.
the history. He gets a fucking library provided for him. Not one thank you. He doesn't want
If
to learn
I
the
could get
history at all.
answers, I could. If I could get answers, I
You're
could
full of
debunk your
shit.
stuff. but
Nobody
you have no
cares.
answers for me, so
Nobody's hiding the answers from you, Jeremy.
they're hiding it from me, Kurt.
Nobody's
there.
hiding it. You're free to read. You're free to read.
You've read it already.
They're in the chat box now.
So because you've read
Look,
it,
the way
just tell
you
us what it
guys answer
says.
questions, you don't deserve any answers anyway.
Just tell us what it says if you've read it already.
All right, so
No,
you're
it says
saying
fuck
that
chemo. That's what it says.
Chemo. If you had globe evidence and you were a glober, wouldn't you be giving this out freely?
Why are you asking a liar
Right,
to
you
lie?
would tell them exactly what it says.
I'd be dying for somebody to ask me for this information. I'd wake up hoping, please, someone ask me for
What
this
would you do?
information.
What would you do with the information?
What would you do with the information? You would test it, of course, right?
I would debunk it probably in 20 seconds. Why do you think they're so hesitant to give it to me?
We don't believe you. We don't believe you. You've been given plenty of information.
Jeremy!
You've debunked nothing.
All right, hold on, guys.
Jeremy,
let's
you're
put
giving
into this. So,
information.
Jeremy, I don't see any evidence in the article stating whether or not they used the theodolite directly to measure drop. Okay, I don't see a sentence claiming that, so I don't want to make that claim.
right.
However, I believe it's implied. Okay. Results
So we
gathered
don't
through
know.
this. The results gathered through this experiment match up with thousands of other experiments.
Okay,
Right.
well, I can't debunk that. Hold on. I can't debunk thousands of experiments in this single moment. So we're just going to have to do one at a time.
Okay.
Right? So we're going to
So
start
you're
with the
going to
first
have
one.
to do it one at a time.
Okay. So
Yeah,
let's
we're all
get
doing
the
it.
most.
We're in this
let's-
together, Rex.
No, you're doing it.
Yeah, all together. We're going to do this
You
one by
do
one.
it.
It's going to take months.
You know
It'll
what
be
I
fine.
think? You know what I think? I think
Can we
Jeremy's
stop personally
think-
fighting each other?
hold on. Be
No,
quiet.
Rex is
I
out of
think
control.
Jeremy is just going to understands that he's going to be intimidated by the language. in a scholarly
Remember, Rex
article
has
and not
no
be able to
morals. He's an
understand
atheist. He doesn't care about life or anyone. But
Why are you
himself.
cutting him off?
Why does the conversation always have to divulge into just insulting each other instead of focusing
Because
on the
Chemo's
topic?
a piece of shit. Next question.
That
And he
wasn't
has
an
to devolve
insult.
into
He's an
religious
atheist, so he doesn't
argument
care
when it has
about
to do with the
discussion.
planet, not the fucking belief.
The most honest answer you're going to get.
Well,
If
again,
you want
he's
to
not
be,
allowing
be that
discussion, is
flunky,
he?
you go right ahead. Hurry up! You're wasting their precious time, flunky.
Yeah, don't give them anything smooth.
Don't give them the evidence. No, of course not, Smooth.
The evidence is in your hand, Jeremy. You just don't have. It's inconvenient for you to read it. You want us to read it to you while you work. That's
I'm
insulting.
literally offering to do that. I will read the entire
He's
article
already
word for
denied
word.
it, and that's insulting
Alright,
too.
No,
Alright, you
just
ready?
read the part that
Okay,
Jeremy
hold on.
wants.
No,
Come on,
no,
you ready?
Jeremy,
You ready?
get
No.
fucking Audible. Get
Yeah, go
Audible
to-
and buy some books and
Look,
listen
just
to those
because
while
you
you
guys
work.
are
If
unhelpful.
you want to read it to him in another room, Smooth, you two go away and do that.
I don't need to
Otherwise,
read in another room. I just need a yes or no answer.
we don't
What
want
is
to
the
hear it.
question?
For an answer.
What
Oh,
is
they're
the question?
exhausted now,
Smooth said
Jeremy.
he
They've had
didn't know.
enough. They've had enough. That's what it is.
Smooth said he didn't know how they measure the drop. So where do we go from here?
You read
we-
the article and maybe he missed it.
Okay, so is it possible that maybe maybe I missed it, maybe this article didn't directly go into that much detail? Is it possible to use another experiment that is highly that is reviewed by others and has every detail we need?
So first experiment debunked. Next. Well, let's go. Next.
Sorry, but you didn't debunk shit.
Hold on.
Well
You
done,
don't
Jeremy.
have anything.
Here you are. This is the method that this goes into quite a lot of detail on the method used for the French-Spanish geodesic mission.
Oh, thank
All right,
you.
we're
He's
on
not
your
going to read that
Oh,
either.
Jem
One
saved
now,
the
great.
day.
Now,
So
Jem,
I'll
now,
send
Jem,
it to-
Jem, now start reading it for him.
No, I
Don't
don't.
do it.
Listen,
Don't do it.
I don't want to read a
Don't
whole
do it.
article. I just have very specific questions that need answering. You ready,
Jeremy,
Jem?
but you don't even understand the importance of your question. That's the problem. Without reading the article, you're basically failing to see how the results of our answer help you to reach a conclusion.
Why can't
All you're doing is trying to do a gotcha instead of a I'm actually going to learn from this.
Right, that was the point I was trying to make earlier.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna debunk the shit out
It's
of
not
this.
about
Yeah, definitely.
finding out what's true. It's about finding something to reject the evidence. And I think that's
No, because I think that's how most people become flat earthers. Is by reading this stuff themselves. You guys haven't actually read it. Once Jeremy
Really?
reads it,
Really?
once Jeremy reads it,
No, we have.
after Jeremy's read it, you'll
We've
be
read
like, "Oh
How
yeah,"
can you- how can you make that claim when I just read it?
because you're not going to
Hey, look,
see
here's something, Jeremy.
what you're doing is looking at the
If you don't mind,
You're focused on the presupposition where Jeremy will be able to spot that, right?
Well, Chemo, you forget that we hear from a lot of flat earthers. They become flat earthers from Eric Dubay and Mark Sargent, not by reading these kind of articles. Sorry, but you're
No,
lying.
flat earthers don't make flat earthers. Flat earthers
Oh,
inform.
yeah, they do. Guess what?
Flat
The
earthers
parents don't
inform
do it.
people, and then obviously they listen to the profession.
Sorry, they get it from videos, Chemo. They get it from methamphetamine and videos.
No, again, they don't watch the videos and think, aha, the earth is flat. Again,
They sure do
Chemo.
in 5 minutes. You know why? Because there are retards waiting to happen.
And Chemo, why do you keep lying? The amount of people that go, "Oh, I watched Eric Dubay's video and then I worked out that it was flat," or I listened to Mark
Yeah,
Sargent
I was
and
going to
worked
say
out
that.
it
They
was
watch.
flat."
Yeah, that's what happens. So again, they listen to flat earthers, they look at the flat earth information, and then they look for the expert to correct them. And then when they find that the expert didn't or can't correct them, they say, aha, yeah, it's right, it's not a ball.
Yeah,
I watched Soundly's
Hey,
video
guys,
and knew the Earth was flat after I knew he was bullcrapping.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
you
watched
see?
Soundly, so I'm blowing your theory out of the water. I didn't watch Eric Debate. I watched Soundly.
And my point is that Raki would have heard about the flat Earth and then looked to a ball earther for an answer, and there was no answer.
Why are y'all so trusting in what man wrote down in the book? Don't y'all deny the Bible?
Yeah, whenever we can get into this, I
Why
love
are
to
y'all
go
trusting
into
these
spherical
geodetic
access
surveys that
thing,
wrote
yeah.
something in a book?
Whoa,
Y'all just
whoa,
reading
whoa,
the
whoa,
book
whoa.
and trusting it?
Sorry, Rakia. Whoa,
Are
hold
you
your
reading?
horses. Are you declaring? Wait.
Are you reading
Just
what
wait.
man's word
Just
that he
let
wrote down
me
in a book and
finish.
just
No, well,
trusting
hold
it?
on. Rocky
Oh my
was
God!
talking.
Reading things in a book. That's definitely a reason to reject something if it's in a book.
Well,
That's
it's in the
good
Bible.
thinking, Rakia. I hadn't thought about that.
You deny the Bible, Jim Panda?
Sorry, Jim.
I don't
the
deny
contention
something
here is the
because it's a
fact that
book.
he's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You went out and
whenever we get
surveyed
a
it yourself then, right? You're not
But
just
it doesn't
trusting
mean
them?
I accept everything because it's a book.
Oh, you accept what these men are saying, though, right? Because it's in a book.
No, it has
So which is it?
absolutely nothing to do
Yeah,
with
you
whether
didn't
it's...
check out. You didn't try and verify either one. You just trust one over the other because it fits.
It
your
has
narrative.
absolutely nothing to do with whether it's
Sure
in a
it does.
book. It has absolutely
Guys,
nothing.
Yeah, it's
It
where you
has
put your
absolutely.
faith.
It has absolutely nothing to do with whether it's in a book or
You
not.
put your
That's
faith
simple.
in scientists rather than in the creator. That's
I
fine.
put my faith in the
Don't
evidence.
be scared.
I put my faith in the evidence.
How do you know it's
What the
evidence?
evi-
You just trusting that
What?
a man wrote it down in a book and that it's right. It's not evidence to you. It's faith
No,
to you. It's
that's
your
not true.
faith.
That's
Yes,
not
it
true.
is. Oh, you
No, it
deny it,
isn't.
but it is.
It isn't
You haven't
because
verified it. It's not your evidence.
shut up for a minute, and I'll explain to you why you're complete. Well, I'll explain to you why you're completely wrong. What your claim is that because a man wrote it in a book, I believed it. That isn't true. We're talking about hundreds of people recording thousands or tens of thousands of measurements over
How many
hundreds
writers of the
years,
Bible?
over hundreds of years.
How many
people
writers
from-
of the Bible?
People from can I just finish?
Well,
Do
how
you
many
need to
different writers?
interrupt me?
How many different
I'll
writers?
tell you
of the
what, I'll make it easier for you. So we're talking about tens of thousands of measurements made by thousands of people over hundreds of years, which all agree with each other. Those people were from different cultural backgrounds, had different motivations, different economic backgrounds. So that's why I believe it, because there's a body of evidence all saying the same thing, all from different sources independent of each other. That's not how you characterized it as a man wrote it in a book and you just believe it. And that's why you people will never be taken seriously, because you could never argue this honestly. It always has to do some mischaracterization or reframing of reality.
Jim, whenever you get a chance, I'd love to go over the sphere.
Can I rebuttal that? Hang on, Jeremy. Hang on, Jeremy. What about the Bible, Jim Panda?
I've sent you two
Do I
links.
get a chance?
I've sent
Do I
you
get a
two
chance to rebuttal?
Just let me say this to Jeremy. I've sent you two links. So once you've read at least the second of those links, I'll be happy to go through it with you.
Okay, so I can rebuttal now. So the Bible is written by many different writers over many different time periods, over thousands of years. It's been read and
34.
And kept. How many writers? You don't know that. In many different territories, they didn't know each other. They lived in different time periods, and yet they put a story together, which is God's word. That's why it comes together and is true, just like your narrative.
And not only that, Rakia, not only that,
thousands of different books written down. Why don't you trust it?
Not only that, there are more.
One,
well, hold on. Let me say something as well.
Let me answer his question, because one is a story, and it doesn't all agree by any means whatsoever.
Oh,
and,
it does amazingly.
And the other are recorded measurements of the earth. So we can pretend that because the medium in which they are delivered is a book, that they are the same thing, but obviously they're not.
No, the measurements are just that man's story that measured that with a certain tool. That's his story that he wrote down, that you so love, right? That you trust, that you believe in. You didn't go and measure yourself and reconfirm it. You just trust it. You have your faith in that man. It's just his story.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
no,
it's
I don't.
just his story. It's the
No,
same
I
thing.
have my
different.
I have my faith, if you want to call it that, in the body of evidence, not in the recordings of
I agree.
Of the
faith
evidence.
in science, right? Instead of faith in something else.
I mean,
Well,
Jem, that's just like.
I didn't mention
But you could, Jem, put all of those books, like all your body, into one collection of a book, like into one book, and then you could say this is the scientific body of evidence. Now we could just say a collection of men. It's just like what Raki is saying here, and
Bible of surveying.
Yeah, I'm just saying that you could put all of that information together in one pile and say, look, it could be thicker than the Bible, bigger, whatever. But this is just a book that was written by, a bunch of people. And the problem is that we can't verify what they've done. Nobody can. We just have to take their word for it.
You could just go and repeat their measurements.
Well, that's what
that's not the same as anything that's written in the Bible, is it?
Yeah.
We can't repeat
I'm making your shitty argument for you now. This is what you idiots say, isn't it? Oh well, we know
can't
we
repeat
don't do that.
No, we were just disputing on where you get your faith from.
We can't repeat the trigonometric.
Again, you don't. There is no dispute. I can make it clear for you again if you missed it the first time round. I get it from the body of evidence. I rely on what the evidence says.
Right.
Okay, is that Indian trigonometric data? Is that out of the body of evidence yet? Because you don't even know how it was done. So is that out of the evidence or what?
No, that's in the evidence.
You don't even know how it was done.
So what?
So you don't know how Jesus rose from the dead, but you don't believe it. So what? You don't know how Jesus rose from the dead, but you don't believe it.
You don't know how Jesus walked on water, but same thing.
Why are you making this Jesus? Why are we comparing stuff to the Bible?
Because it's the same thing. You believe one over the other. You put your faith in one over the other.
We either have
it's not because we're talking about measurements of the earth that people made, actual measurements that they made. That's not the same as the Bible. There are no measurements in the Bible, are there?
No,
or
that's
maybe for the
faith that people have made measurements. We don't know who's made them. Nobody's made measurements. That's what Jeremy's going through. Who's made these measurements? It's just been written down that someone's made a measurement, but no one's making these measurements. Who?
So what you're saying is now that you only believe stuff if you personally know the person who said the stuff. That's the ridiculous argument we're making.
That's not what I said.
No,
that's not
we've got to be able to
the opposite of what I said. I have faith. I have lots of faith.
I would at least have to know how the measurement was made. But you can't tell me
when we go out and try and do the same measurements, we don't come up with the same thing.
Using geodetic surveying techniques.
I think everything else.
Can I kick in something?
Of which there are kind of three. Yeah, go ahead, mate. Yeah, go ahead.
Look, I just got one for you, Jeremy. Indian survey was actually done on India because it's kind of unique from a geological point of view. And if you were to have a bit of a guess, most of it's flat. It's only up around the Himalayas it gets bumpy. So all of your drop measurement you're going to try to do to say, gotcha, ain't there, buddy. Read the article. It doesn't take that much to do, and you're going to discover some really interesting things.
I don't have a gotcha because you guys can't even tell me how it was done. So
why do we need to? Why do we?
We can. We choose not to.
But even if we couldn't, why? Oh, go ahead then, Smoothbone. Let's get it out of the way at least.
All right, because listen, we have enough to refute what he's saying. So let's stop arguing for the past 20 minutes about not giving to him. Let's just go forward with this. So Jeremy, what they used is a theodolite to measure the angles of hills to a base point, and then they used trigonometry to calculate the height of the hill.
So they didn't measure drop from a horizontal plane.
Yeah, that's not drop from horizontal. That's slope.
Yeah.
Sir.
No. What I'm saying, this is how they.
Yes.
Would you like?
This is why I don't want to get into it. But go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So here's the article that I'm going to be using for this. Right. It's a very interesting article, and it's about.
How far were they looking through the? Hold on. How far were they looking at through the theodolite to make this angle measurement?
I have yet to find that piece of information. Can you tell me why that would be important?
Because if it's more than 300 feet, then it's not accurate.
That's a crucial piece of information, and you're nuts if you don't know why.
Especially back then, because their optics probably weren't as good as today. So 300 or 400.
Okay, so Jeremy, can you tell me what the limit and thresholds are?
300 to 400
That is a crucial piece of information.
Why?
You should know why. If you don't know why, then you shouldn't even be talking about this.
Jeremy, are you? Wait, hold on. One sec, Rekia. Are you literally going to tell me that if I don't know something, I shouldn't be talking? Yeah, you're the person who doesn't know a goddamn thing about this survey. You want it spoon-fed to you. And then when I have a gap in my knowledge, you tell me to go fuck myself? Who the fuck are you to even think that way?
I didn't tell you to go fuck yourself.
Imply, okay?
Okay, I'm telling you, if you don't know why this is important, then you shouldn't even be using.
This is why, though, I didn't want to get into the detail of it, because this is what it's going to be. Well, no, I don't think you're wrong to do it. It's just this is the path it's going to follow.
Okay,
It's going to show that it's not an accurate way to measure.
doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it's going to show that it's not accurate. Yeah, exactly.
Let me just leave you with this.
It doesn't matter it doesn't matter what you said. Sooner or later, there'll be some question you can't answer, and then the whole thing can be rejected. And Jeremy is going to operate from the position that this evidence just doesn't exist because some random people in a Discord server weren't able to tell him what the distances were. So now his intellectually honest position now is to pretend that this evidence isn't there.
Smooth. This is a critical piece of information about how long of a distance they look through.
So what are you going to do about it now?
I'm going to wait for you guys to find the information.
Really, and that's
Jeremy, you can't seem to explain why this is critical.
Right.
Because you can't.
You just keep telling me, wait, Jeremy. Yeah, go ahead.
Explain it. I'll explain it. Hold on. You can only look through a theodolite for so far of a distance before you get a massive, massive amount of refraction.
Okay. What distance is that? And what's the percent of refraction?
I mean, it's anywhere from 300 meters plus, and you're going to start getting a wild amount of refraction. You could probably do 300 meters, maybe.
You see,
anything past that?
There you go. So basically, any measurement over 300 meters, you were going to reject anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. So
yeah,
let's do this, right? So, Jeremy, you're citing that the reason for this was because we had poor optic technology, correct?
Nope. Rocky said that.
What is your claim that we can only use a theodolite so far? Why is that?
No, you can use a theodolite. I have no issues with a theodolite. You can use a theodolite all day. If you try to do it over 300 or 400 feet, you're going to have major issues and get very inaccurate results.
Okay.
So, I mean, let's see how long they were looking through this theodolite.
It would have been further than 300 meters, wouldn't it?
Oh, no question. No question.
Yeah, but Jeremy, can you tell me why then his data is within inches of the data that we hold now?
It's within inches. It's within inches of the globe model.
No, data that we can verify now.
Listen, we're just going over this one thing. I mean, if you want to go over something more recent.
No, we're not. We're going over this one thing, and I'm saying that from the 1800s, the data this guy used with his shitty-ass theodolite that weighed over 100 pounds and broke some fucking building and shit, he was able to come within inches of the true measurement, right? And you were trying to disprove this guy's work, right, from the fucking girl's bathroom without reading the goddamn article, right?
Yes.
And you can't explain that how he got so goddamn close. Your only objection is that you can't use a theodolite more than 300 meters.
That's my first objection. We'll work on it from there once we really get into this. But I mean, it's been like pulling teeth with you guys all day, pulling teeth for this information.
Because again, your approach is just one of. I mean, I can't call it lying, but it is extreme intellectual dishonesty. Absolutely extreme. And
there's no, Jem, I'm not fronting. I want this information to debunk it. I'm not playing games like I want to learn or something.
No, you don't. You are absolutely
thoughts again.
Jeremy, you're absolutely playing games. And
dividing thoughts again, Jim.
I can
you like all flat earthers. You don't care about what's true.
You're like all globers. That's so stupid.
You want to play a dumb game on the internet.
You're being dumb.
Fair enough, if that's what you want to do. But
this information
I don't know.
Debunk it.
If I was going to play a character, it wouldn't be dumb fuck. I know that.
It would be Jim Panda on a Discord with a flat earth server and more.
Jem, how can you call Jeremy dishonest? He's not being
really
dishonest.
That's ridiculous, Jim.
Of course he is. He's being absolutely. All right, I'll explain why he's dishonest.
Because exactly what I'm asking. So, Rakia, sorry, Jem. Before you start, Rakia, just don't interrupt him. Let Jem explain, please.
Because he claims that this issue is important to him. That this is something that he wants to have an understanding of, and now The information is on the table for him. He knows about these surveys. He's heard them discussed extensively, but he isn't prepared to spend any time even considering them himself, because or what he is prepared to do is have any details about them delivered to him. It has to be delivered to him. He can't go and look for it himself. And as those people are delivering it to him, he's going to find ways to reject what they're saying. And
yes, I'm going to pick it up.
That's the only consideration that he's going to give to this evidence. Whether he can find something in the way that the people are delivering it to reject it. And that includes if they don't know something about it that he might randomly ask them. And he's pretending that that's a way to get to be honest and to get an honest interpretation of reality. Clearly,
just like y'all do with any test we do.
It's game playing, dishonest game playing.
That's what y'all do. Y'all are dishonest too.
Hold on,
y'all nitpick our test also.
I do have a retort to you, Jem, but I'd like to hear what Rakia has to say because he did queue up.
No, what he's doing is the same thing. They nitpick every test we do too. It's no different. All I've heard is that they use a 100-foot chain to measure miles, which is inaccurate, and they use a theodolite to measure slope of a mountain. I haven't heard anything they measured curve of the earth. Nothing. Not one thing. Nothing accurate anyway.
I hear you, Ricky. I hear you.
Yeah, I've never made any other state. I've said from the beginning, I just want this information to debunk it.
You don't,
because I know it's easily debunkable once you know the information.
Well, it is.
Now, I don't mean to be a bastard or anything like that, Jem. Right? I do have respect for you, right? Regardless of what you think, but I haven't seen a link or anything posted by you in the chat.
Well, you weren't watching then, because I posted 2.
Okay.
Which
no, I mean, if you posted 2, man, I mean, I missed them, so I'm not going to argue.
Which give a good explanation of how these, at least the French Spanish. Why can't my fucking thing won't?
I got you.
Jem, will you DM me the spherical access?
I did DM it to you.
Thank you.
But you're not going to bother reading it, are you? All you're going to do is try and find a way to. Well, they were measuring from mountaintop to mountaintop. It was further than 300 meters. So there you go. You can pretend it's not there now, Jeremy. Great.
Yo, Jeremy, you got to read past the first paragraph, bro. I haven't found the link, but you got to read past.
You can pretend that a process that you've never done just can't be done, and the people doing it are just kidding themselves when they think they are. You can pretend that that's a reality if you want, but
I was just about to say,
obviously, it's idiotic, fantastical nonsense.
I was just about to say,
Jeremy,
it's amazing.
It's why you can never be taken seriously.
I was just about to say, it's quite amazing how all this.
You said don't use over 400 feet for accuracy.
Because it's never long before you've argued yourself into a position of complete absurdity.
I was going to say, it's just amazing how this globe, all this globe information, is out. Like, who's doing this? Who's putting all this together? Who's taking the time to write out all these books and manuals? Like, it is bizarre.
We've had 200 years, Chemo, for this information.
No, but I just mean, who's
100 years at least.
It's very odd. They would go to all this effort, and then
it's called history, Chemo. It's the 1800s and 1900s. It's our history. It's our recorded history. I mean, it's not that far-fetched to think we could digitize it. I mean, there's books from fucking, really old, right?
No, I'm just thinking
Bible.
The Quran is
from
fucking
a conspiracy perspective. Like, they must have sat down and just wrote all this stuff out and just we're going to print it, and just get it out.
Oh, Jeremy, I was doing some more reading.
Jeremy.
Right.
Back to that.
This guy got he made thousands and thousands of measurements. So sometimes, yes, the angles were within the 400 meter.
No.
Angles.
Hold on one second.
Oh, you're gonna say no? Okay, how are you gonna say no?
I just want to say, hold on one second. We're trying to measure drop from a horizontal.
We're not measuring
Right?
drop. We're measuring the angle.
Earth is supposed to drop from a horizontal. That's the kind of measurement we're gonna need. Or the spherical axis one. I'll take the spherical axis with over 180 degrees. That works. That's highly
Jeremy,
unlikely
you don't
that you
seem
could
to
even
be
get that.
you don't seem to be focusing on the topic that we have, which is this 1980 or 1803, I believe, by Mr. Lambert, and you don't seem to be focusing on this.
Well, is it measuring drop from horizontal?
No.
Then what are we even talking about? I thought somebody told me that this was a measurement of drop from horizontal earlier. Now you're saying no. It's because they didn't know. Whoever told me that earlier didn't know what they were talking about.
And I could be wrong because I don't fully understand what you're asking. But
Why do you keep saying drop from horizontal? What the fuck
I have
does
no
that
idea what the
mean?
fuck that means. He doesn't even know what that
drop
means.
from horizontal means.
Don't you mean
Jeremy,
drop
you
from
said
the
that. No one
tangent?
told you.
Yeah,
No
don't
one
mean
told
drop
you
from
that,
the
Jeremy.
tangent?
You said that. Sorry.
We've been
Sorry,
at this
Jeremy.
all day. You might have missed
Yeah.
it.
Jeremy, quick question. Do you mean drop from the tangent?
From the
No, he
line
doesn't
to
mean
no,
drop
you're
from
pre.
a tangent.
Or is the tangent going to the horizon, or are we just using a tangent line to another spot on Earth?
No, you said drop from horizontal. That means the drop from the tangent line that intersects with the sphere. Correct?
Yeah, you're assuming the sphere with the tangent. We don't do that in surveying. We use horizontal from vertical.
We need drop
90
from
degrees,
horizontal, bro.
and then drop from that.
We need
No,
a
that's the
horizontal line.
tangent.
Hang on, Dave.
That's the
If
fucking
you're using a
tangent,
tangent,
though.
first of all, you don't have a tangent line.
Yes,
You don't have a
Hey,
tangent.
Dad.
A tangent line is a straight line. You don't have straight lines. So
Dave,
that's out.
if you want some background on it, Dave, Jeremy's been trying to get us to read the article for the last 6 hours. Everyone's dropped the page in the chat. He refuses to read it. If he read the article, he would actually not be asking these questions. He's aiming for drop from tangent. He just said someone else said it. Jeremy, don't say that. You said that. And I remember that.
Who here thinks
Who here thinks Jeremy should read the article himself?
Is there
Jeremy,
anyone here
from
that
what
thinks we
from
can?
my
let Jeremy
during
say
this
his sentence.
conversation.
Jeremy, I
It's
hear
tough, man, because it's like 5 Globers versus me.
He said, who here thinks, and then y'all
y'all
interrupt him.
Jeremy.
So go ahead, Jeremy.
I
I'm
mean, go
listening,
fuck
dude.
yourself.
Yeah.
you
Get
say,
mad
Jeremy?
because I'm interrupting you, interrupting somebody else, you dumb cunt.
Jeremy.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Okay, is there anyone here that thinks we can make a tangent line on
Should
Earth?
go read the article.
Well, I mean, if the Earth's curve from point A to point B, the horizon. So point A, as soon as you leave point A, isn't it supposed to be curving on the smallest scale in order to get 8 inches per mile squared? So how
That
can you have a
wasn't
straight
really the-
line? Well, I mean, how
that
can you
wasn't
have a
really the
straight
question.
line? Well, you're saying a
Yeah,
tangent
that's-
line, right?
That's the issue is they don't have a straight line to make this
Well, you
tangent
can't.
line with. The tangent line needs to be straight.
Jeremy, how does
So-
that have any relevance to the study that was done?
I don't know. Somebody just mentioned tangent lines.
Okay,
now
so
we're on that.
here's
Do you want to?
here's what I understand from our current conversation. One, you
All
don't
right.
know any of the facts because apparently you don't know where they're coming from, who's doing it, or how they're received. When the information is presented to you, you don't know what to do with the information. You run like a chicken. Well, no, I'm going to stay away. Then when the information is provided to you, you don't know what it means or the importance of it. Now you're going on
Okay,
this
did this
tangent
prove?
line.
Did this measurement of angles they made prove that the Earth is dropping away from us?
The purpose of this study was to say that is the Earth an egg shape or a grapefruit shape? And they showed that the Earth is a grapefruit instead of an egg.
Okay, so this proved that Earth is dropping away from us, right? Earth's curving away.
I don't
This
know
is a
what
proof.
that means. The Earth is dropping away from
Dude,
us.
this whole thing is about Earth curve.
Right.
I don't think the
Can we
Earth's
just
curved.
can we keep the vocabulary to that? Can we just say that the Earth is curved? This is trying to understand the shape of a curved Earth, the curved
Oh,
land.
dude. All right, well, give me the one that proves Earth curve. How about that? I don't want to get
Hey,
the
look
one
at
that
him-
proved
Look
it.
at you running
This one
around
just- this
dancing
one-
for Jeremy right now.
I'm not, dude. I'm
Dude.
enjoying the.
No, give me the one. No, give me the blue one. No, give me the other one. No, I want the other one. Give me the. No, what I need is something that tells
Okay,
me this.
alright,
That's what it sounds
alright.
like. And you'll go, like, oh, what can I do for you? Jeremy's just taking you for a ride. He doesn't give a fuck, man.
Right,
do
but
give a
I'm
fuck.
actually learning new things. So, like, I rather discuss information than yell at each other and insult each other.
All right,
It's more
fair enough.
productive.
But I just want to let you know.
It's okay.
You're
So,
the
Jeremy,
only one learning.
All right, and the Indian thing.
There's a difference between knowledge. There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom, Smooth, and the knowledge we have is not worth giving to him. The wisdom is to make him go and learn it himself. By you teaching him, you're not teaching him how to fish. You're just throwing him a fish, and we've been trying to avoid that for the last 5 hours. He will crack and go and read it. I'll put it in the post. I'll post it again in the chat for you, Jeremy.
I wish people would let us talk about it instead of narrating about how I'm not going to go.
You're
read
not
it. Just let us
talking
talk
about it.
about
You're just scoffing. He gives you
So-
something, you go, nah, I don't want it. He gives you something else, nah, I don't want that.
Angle
You're not
measurement. We're back
talking
on the
about
India thing. We're back on the India thing. The angle measurement. How far were they looking through the theodolite when they made
Go
the angle
fuck
measurement?
yourself. Nobody's telling you anything.
Yeah, he's got to read
Plenty
the
of
article.
opportunities, Jeremy, to learn anything you wanted at this point.
Smooth. How far were they looking through the theodolite when they made the angle measurement?
Seriously, Smooth, you're never going to be thanked for any of this. He's only going to make fun of you over at
Smooth.
Arena.
I'm thanking you in advance.
He's going to go over
Thank
at
you very
Arena.
much for going
He's
over
going to
this
go
with me.
over at Arena and tell them how he had a globe hopping all over the fucking joint for him.
Exactly.
Like a trained little
Smooth.
monkey.
I'm
And
thanking you in
Kimo's
advance.
recording you right now to get it all to
You've got to help
manipulate
him
it.
out, Rex. Come on. Jeremy's asking you questions.
See, now
What's
he's justifying the need for it.
Shut up. Jeremy's
You're
running
playing
through
right
hoops.
into their hands. And the reason you are doing this is because he's asking you to pull document information that you haven't read the whole document yourself. And it's making you look all sorts of ways.
Smooth. We're in India. Can we and Smooth get on with this, or do you guys want to change the topic?
Oh,
Is
by all
everyone
means.
fine with that?
By all means, take over the whole VC for a conversation between the
Not
two of
taking
you
over. It's not
exclusively.
taking over. This is what's been going on all day.
No one wants to hear this shit,
We've
Kimo.
now got to a point. We're finally there, and I think we're going to get a conclusion pretty much.
All right, well, you three go to the room and talk about it.
Or you could have read the fucking article 8 hours ago when you first got it.
Go ahead. Talk about whatever you guys want then. I'll bow out. Go ahead. We're
Okay,
right on
so-
the cusp.
Good.
We're
Shut
right on
the
the
fuck
cusp
up.
of this, and you guys want to stop.